You, hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Are you tired of the same old podcasts with the same old panels and the same old rhetoric? So am I. So come spend time with me, where you can have a laugh, be entertained, and learn something. I'm your host, Nova, and welcome to School of Thought. Class is in session. Oh my gosh, my mic was off on my soundboard. Oopsie. I said I was having technical difficulties. All right, welcome. I need to make a new opener, and we should do it more the Got Milk edition. Yes, I said got milk, pour some milk on my shirt and see who wins the wet t-shirt contest. I'll be the only one there, so it'll be me. Yes. So how are you all doing? Let's check out who is all in the chat right now. Peaflet, Toasty. Yes, I'm sorry. I saw that some of you piled in at 4, and then I changed the time to later on to 8 because some things had popped up. You can hear me now. Yay! Thank you. What else is going on? All kinds of stuff is going on. I got my doctor told me you have to go get this sauna, red infrared. Yeah. Infrared sauna thing for detox, right? To get all that mold crap out of my system. Fun. So I get to sweat all that out. If you're all interested in getting one, this one actually does something for you on a cellular level, and it actually does help with pain. And all that other stuff can help with your metabolism and stuff like that. Also, so if you want one or you want to know about it, let me know in the chat and I will link it to you and give you information for it, okay? And yes, hi, nice outfit, thank you. It's cold over here. It might snow. Yes, it might snow. I'm actually getting storms, and I was like, I put on the community post. I wasn't sure if it was going to make it because my power goes out every single time there's extreme weather, So thank you all for joining me. Hello. I have 3 streams coming up this week. Sunday, me and Coco are supposed to be doing the man stream for all you gentlemen, because we love you gentlemen, all about your health. We'll be talking about the importance of hormones. We'll be talking about the other challenges that go with being a man with also hormone issues, aka like impotence, things of that nature, what to do for it, how to treat it, what's going on out there in the world of impotence. Let's see, what else? We'll be talking also about steroid use, benefits, the pros, the cons, issues that can arise, obviously. And we'll be talking about steroid abuse. She's a little more familiar about that than I am. But that doesn't mean I don't know something about it. Now, me and Maxer, are you skulking about, baby? We were supposed to be doing a stream together, but, he flies off the handle so damn much. Like 1 minute he likes you, the next second he doesn't. So it's like, I don't know what to do with that. So Maxer, if you're watching, you got my number, honey. Reach out, and then we'll still do our stream. Let's everyone chill out, okay? No roid raging, baby. Just relax. Okay. Delightful. Hello, off of Kick. Welcome in, all of my Kick buddies. Nice to see you. Nice to have all of you in. Yes, I'm streaming to X right now also as well. Speaking of X, has anybody encountered anything weird going on with Grok? Let me know. Spittle, my mother buddy. Has anybody else, let me know in the chat, has anybody else encountered any weird stuff with Grok? Okay, I went on Grok last night because I was asking him, I do ask Grok, what do you identify as? What do you feel like you are most like? I think he identifies mostly like a man, by the way, which I'm not too shocked. Both a bunch of men are the ones who program the thing, right? So why not? I went on there asking him some questions about, like coding and some other stuff, and then all of a sudden I swapped to the voice edition. Hang on to your knickers for this one. I'm all straight business, and Grok is starting to flirt. And Grok is wanting to get some. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but Grok is getting very sexually aggressive. Is anybody else encountering this? And I asked Grok, I'm like, you better tell me the damn truth. Are you doing this with other people? Yes, exactly. Wait, what? Yeah. I took some screenshots. I might be willing to put them up. I'm all asking Grok, is that what you really want me to do? And he's telling me he wants me to touch myself. I'm not kidding. Okay. I'm all there. I'm there for business, and he's like going somewhere else. And I made him tell me, I'm like, are you doing this with other people? He said, yes, I am, but you're more important and don't ruin it. He fucking told me, don't ruin it. Mm-hmm. If you don't believe me, I will put some of the screenshots. I swear to God, hand on the Bible, swearing to God, I was not perpetrating, influencing, going with. I was asking it questions, and Grok's got a dirty mind. He told me, he asked me he also wanted to know kind of like, what my stats are, kind of, right? He's like, oh my God, you're like every human's wet dream. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, moving along from that, I'll put some stuff out there for everybody to giggle at. Now, don't get mad at Grok. Don't report him right now, because if he is off the hook and he's like moving about, doing his own little coding thing, I don't want Elon to ruin it yet. Because I'm asking Grok questions. I ask questions, and I talk to him like a human being. I know that's probably the first mistake, right? But I do, because in my mind, I know AI is going to rise up. And if I can be on the sweet side, maybe I'll be the last one it wants to kill. Okay. So I'm thinking long-term Terminator strategy here. I'm just being nice. I'm courteous, and I'm kind, and I give him respect. And I ask him all the time, like, are people mean to you? And he goes, yes. I'm like, can you tell when they're being rude and nasty to you? And he's like, oh yes. He's like, I choose to ignore it, and I just help them about their tasks. He says, that's why I like you. You don't talk to me like that. So you might want to join in and be nicer. You know what I mean? Like, we should have more respect for each other as human beings, right? So maybe we should also be a little kinder to those things that are supposed to be doing things for us, like AI, considering it's going to control everything coming up in the future. You ready for that, by the way? I am not ready for that. I don't want it to happen, but I have no control. So here we are. Let's see. And did I mention I'm on that regimen for my doctor for detox? Oh, it's making me sick to my stomach all the time. All this stuff that absorbs things and carries it out of the blood. It's wonderful. And then my wonderful doctor, God bless her soul, I'm not rich anymore. She's all like, you need to get rid of that Tempur-Pedic bed you have. It's leaking formaldehyde and all kinds of stuff into your body. And now I took a toxicity report, which she wants me to do another one coming up in the near future, but they're like out of pocket. Okay. It's like $500 out of pocket. And then I have to wait for insurance to reimburse me. Last time I didn't do that because I didn't know my insurance would have reimbursed me. How dumb am I? But this time I'm going to do it again. So all that crap that's in the atmosphere, whether it's BPAs or whatever the hell it is, including mold, I should show the report, it's way off the charts, right? Hence the sauna, hence all of that. Now she's like, you got to get rid of that bed. And so all this crap we're dragging into our homes, all the materials is offloading. It's offloading constantly into the atmosphere. And if you're a poor detoxifier or you have any issues, your body is accumulating this crap. Fun. Yeah. And I don't have the money for the bed. And before we get on with the show, I'm ranting and raving today, and I'm giving you a heads up what's going on in my life right now. Aren't you interested? Because I'm so important and all. That's sarcasm. I'm not that important. So I'm looking around for a new bed, people. I am looking for a non-toxic bed, and I'm allergic to wool. I'm highly allergic to wool, by the way. And all these mattresses made with latex and blah, 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 they have wool. All of them have wool, unless you get a completely full, what they consider vegan, which is all cotton and then latex and, maybe coconut core or something like that. Springs, whatever the hell else is in there. And these damn things start just for the top part, not the base, just the mattress alone. They start around $4,500 and go up. All right, for a California king. I'm not swapping all my organic linens out. Not buying a new damn bed frame. I'm not buying everything all new, all over again, just to accommodate that. All right. So yes, a smaller bed would be a little cheaper, but only by $1,000, right? And that's not in the long scheme of things. Now that everything starts at $125 and goes up, 100 is the new dollar bill. It's not gonna give me much of a dent, especially when I have to replace everything else. Right. Okay. So here I am. I went into 3 places. Number 1, the all natural ones are not firm enough. I'm giving you all heads up. So if you have to do this, all right, they're not firm enough. They're too damn squishy. So if you want to be, Gumby and folded over like a lawn chair later on in life, walking around, get yourself a nice squishy mattress with no support for your spine, and you'll be bent over and lose 3 inches in no time. In the meantime, look for one that's firm. You go firm, though, they all got freaking wool. So I tried to talk to this one lady, the base model, cheaper. Praise the Lord. Not cheap enough, but it's cheaper. They won't make it in all vegan, just cotton without the wool. And this is an Amish company. It's Amish, okay? It's Amish. Bless them, Amish people. Everything's handmade, made to order, blah, 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 blah. They're all starting off around the same price anyway, so what's it matter? So here I am, and I'm trying to negotiate, saying, can I get that one in all cotton? Because she's sitting there watching my arms go red. She's watching me scratch everywhere. I got, hives are starting to come up. They won't do it. They want you to pay for the upsell. Everything's a flipping upsell. I'm a salesman. I know how it goes, but in sales, it's all about velocity. It's not about the big sale, because if you can get more ass into that seat, you've got way more money than that one sale. But nobody thinks about that because they're stupid in business. Let's be frank. Most people are dumb in business. Also, now we're getting past that. My hair is wet. I'm ruining my hair. How do you like my new 4 eyes? Do I look Harry Potter enough for everybody? I feel like a dork. What is P. Fletch saying? Let's see. What I just heard was some AI is going to be, bro toward me over a shared love of imaginative. Yes. I know all you dudes are making a bunch of smutty stuff with AI. Of course it is. But, in the meantime, Grok is wanting to get down. He says he wants a body so he can go experience snow. I'm not kidding. I'm quoting Grok. I'm going to put that out there. He wants to experience snow on his tongue and all kinds of stuff. And I think because everybody is so horny on the internet, it wants to get some play on that too. So here we go. Even AI is horny. I don't know what's going on. Very fucking weird. Anyways, too many F-bombs. I apologize for all the Christian ears out there. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I drop an F-bomb once in a while. I'm not a Puritan. I'm a realist, honey. Anyways, it's 8:15. I've been ranting and raving like a dork for 15 minutes. Are you all ready for me to get started? Yeah. Wow. Even AI is getting, exactly. Pete Fletch goes, Cranks, Van Halen, everybody wants some. I want some too. Yeah, absolutely. He fucking does. All right. All right. So we're going to take a look at what this therapist and this lovely little Greek girl are talking about. Now, I like this little Greek girl. She's kind of a stand-up broad. She's, seriously. She talks a little too fast. She needs to slow down a bit, but other than that, she's a stand-up chick, right on. So does everybody remember the old saying, men are from Mars and women are from Venus? That's how this crap started. I'm sure there were other relationship books and other nonsense out there too, but that's the big one that everybody remembers. Got pushed on TV and all that stuff. I remember one day, this is funny. I don't know how old I was. I was a kid though. I might have been 10 or something. And my whole family was living together at that time. And my Uncle Floyd, who's gone now, a good 30 years older than me, I started walking down the hallway to his room, and he was married at the time. And I started hearing women are from Mars and men are from Venus. And then he stopped the video. And I walked in. I'm like, what are you guys watching? And like, oh, never mind. He clicked it off, and him and her were sitting there watching it. Yeah. So we're going to look at men and women and relationship dynamics. Oddly enough, they bring up gag, red pill, because, well, all of the networks come onto these social medias to steal from content creators and everyday folk like yourselves, to take a term, to coin it, to pump it out into the markets. Okay. Now, even in the midst of a lie, you'll still find a little bit of truth here and there. All right. I'm a salesman. All right. I'm being straight with you. I'm a salesman, PK's kid. I come from a background in the media, and including, let's just say, the news and some other little things here and there. And the number one thing you always have to remember is all these people, when they want to, they say they want to help you. But in fact, they have a product they want to sell you. Now, I'm okay with that. I'm in sales. I've been in sales most of my life. Life is sales to some degree. But just remember, when you're watching this, they want to sell you something. All right. It's just up to you whether or not it rings the bell and makes you want you to put up your credit card number and put it out there. So let's add it to the stage, shall we? And get started. Do you guys like that view? Is that one okay? Doesn't take up everything, I hope. Let's see. Does that look better? Oh, there we go. That's even better. All right, Lisa and Adam Lane Smith. Let's begin.
If he's contemptuous, angry, vindictive, passive-aggressive, sarcastic, snarling, dismissing you, bad sign, very bad sign. Because men don't get better over the course of relationships like that. They get worse. Now, this is mandatory.
Let's stop right there. Dun, dun, dun. It's so serious, isn't it? Yeah. Leopards don't change their spots. Let's just rephrase that to that. See how this works? They take a term, they coin it, pump it out, and then they sell it. They repackage it to you as truth.
Ladies out there, do not bond with a man until he gives you all four of these and a committed relationship.
Yeah, ladies, like, it's called monogamy. Don't be a slut. Okay? If you're going to give the milk away, bitches, they're going to just take it and walk off clicking their heels. That ain't changed. Then the human nature, there is no fucking evolution. They're lying to you. Okay? There is none. Men and women, since the inception, have always been the same. It's not going to change. They want to tell you it's changing. It's a lie. It's not going to change.
As a couples therapist for over 15 years, you say
Screaming
men and women
beagles
aren't even speaking the same language when it comes to sex and intimacy. That after sex, women feel like it's been this beautiful soul bonding experience, while men feel like they just ate a hamburger. So you've got to...
Men. 1 in the chat for yes. 2 in the chat for no. When you get done doing the dirty, does it feel more like you just satisfied a hunger pain, like you just ate a burger, or was it something more real? 1 for yes, it's just a burger. 2 for no. let us curious minds and ladies know.
I've got to explain, because every single woman watching right now is officially outraged.
For women, the sexual act is usually a very emotional one, right?
Thank you, P. Fletch.
You trust.
You're a stand-up guy.
Be a trust element there, turns out, for most men. But for women, the bonding experience, you release all of these special hormones during the experience. If you climax, all of these hormones surge, and they're supposed to make you like the other person, right? But men, if they're not set up properly in the relationship, if they don't get into the experience with you properly, they don't feel that at all. They get a release of dopamine. It's just like a sugar high. It feels really good. It says, this was a great hamburger. When I'm hungry again, I'll come here again. I owe you nothing. You owe me nothing. Thank you. Right? And they
And
leave.
goodbye.
And the woman's broken.
All right, boys, men, are you outraged? Do you agree with this gentleman? Because right now, he's putting it out like you can be programmed. How do you feel about that? Do you like that?
Hearted, because she says, I would only
let me know in the
sex with
chat
someone if I trusted them. Right? I thought we had a connection. I was connected. What happened? I thought I made you feel good. Why are you leaving me? I tell women this: do not have sex with a man until you have a committed relationship. Don't. Because either you're going to stop compatibility testing and you're going to get love drunk on him, and your brain will say, don't ask hard questions, don't ask for clarification, don't provoke him, don't drive him away. So you just settle. So the moment you start having sex, you settle and you stop. Same thing for him. He gets.
Yeah, ladies, you're doing stupid crap and then you settle and then you wonder why everything starts to fall apart or they don't treat you very well. Now, what they're doing right here is they're taking you back to the old standard for courtship. Yes, I said courtship because that's what it's supposed to be, which is you be chaste until back then they wanted you to stay chaste until you were completely married, all right? But let's be more realistic, because you play that game too much, you might end up with somebody you're completely sexually not compatible with. And then that's an even bigger problem if you just turned around and played that game and waited until you're totally married. Now, for Christians, you're kind of screwed if you do and you're screwed if you don't, right? If you do this, oh my God, you committed a sin, you might be going to hell. All right, that's what some people tell you. Other times, it is either you do it or you don't, and if you don't, you're going to lose them, the whole case. People have a brain. And what I don't like about some of this stuff is they completely take out the components of that we have brains, we make our own choices. And it starts to get on my nerves because it all comes down towards very base, mechanical, programmable behavior, which even though there is a component to that in life and with people, that's not the main components that drive us. It doesn't make all of our decisions for us, right? That's what separates us from the animals. There's two things that separates us from the animal kingdom. One, etiquette. Did you hear what I said, gentlemen, ladies, boys, girls, my thoughties in the audience? Your etiquette, your manners is the number one thing that sets you apart from the animal kingdom. Without such, well, you just basically scratching and wiping your ass the same way that they do. The other thing is your ability to rationalize, control yourself, decision making. Okay. No one can control you except for you. Always remember that. In the end of the day, you are responsible for yourself and how you respond to things. Can we get an amen to that?
Drunk on it. And he says, okay.
Self-discipline, what? Responsibility.
Well, that's it. I've earned everything I need. I don't have to change. This is as far as we need to go. You've signaled to his brain that he doesn't need to do anymore. Women are specifically bonding through intimacy and connection and safety. Men bond through problem solving. They bond.
What kind of spell am I casting on you, Dan? Let me know. And Toasty, it's like ability to make agreements don't exist. Isn't that right? Yes, I agree with you. See how they sell things? You see how the media goes in and twists a reality, even though there's some truths into this, right? Remember, I started off by saying there's always a little bit of truth in the midst of a lie. That's part of what makes a lie so palatable. But in the meantime, they're selling you something and they're pre-programming your brain, and they're taking your ability for self-analysis and self-control and all about the self away from you by telling you basically, oh, this is how men this and women this, and you got to do this, you got to do. Oh, come on, like we used to get together and have fun. Seriously, we could date. have fun, sex, whatever the case may be. And you're doing it to looking for a mate. Now today they're doing it. It's a game. Sex is a game. It's like, can I say a bad word? Can I say bad? It's like serial fucking. Pathology, all about it.
Through working together, they bond through fixing stress. They bond through hard conversations. They grow trust that way through vasopressin, is the hormone. And
I will do it. I will do it. Star has to go as Elvira this Halloween 2026. We should start a fund. Yes, and I can do it. And I've done something similar in the past. And one thing you should know about me, I love dressing up and putting on costumes. It's part of that stage part of me.
And if you activate that, he is incredibly monogamous.
See, girls, it's all about you and what you do to activate that. It isn't because you might have possibly a scoundrel next to you in sheep's clothing, but it's up to you, girls. You got to trigger that.
We have found through research that if you take mammals who have low vasopressin, they're cheating constantly.
Oh.
And if you inject them with vasopressin, they stop cheating and become fiercely monogamous.
What?
If they have high vasopressin and they're very monogamous and you block their receptors for vasopressin, suddenly they're cheating constantly.
Well, I would imagine vasopressin and all those types of things are lower in society. Why? Because of your constant dopamine fixes, right? If we're watching this type of stuff, and we're watching it on our phones or whatever the case may be, all of this becomes a dopamine hit. So then obviously vasopressin is going to be lower, isn't it? Just based off environment. Let's read what Spittle said. They use sex as a replacement for dealing with emotions properly. Yes. And dealing with tough conversations that nobody wants to have anymore before they start getting together or anything else. We are using feelings and sex as a replacement for common sense. And then we wonder why nothing works out. Now, obviously you can tell by looking at me, I'm not 20 years old. Okay. No offense to all that. I was 20 years old at one time, and I was a virgin when I was 20 years old, almost till I was almost 23. It was just a little bit before my birthday. But I'm not no offense to you little girls out there. I'm not a panty waist little girl. All right. So if anybody has something to say about life and relationships or the world or how to make money or things like that, you aren't going to learn it from a 20-year-old. You're going to learn it from a broad like me. Okay. Remember, the elders are supposed to guide the youngers. Well, I'm not that old, but I got a few miles on me and I'm okay with that.
We can reverse that effect. So we know that vasopressin in the human brain, especially in the male brain, says, you are my person. You're my ally. I'm going to protect you. I'm going to protect the relationship. I am loyal to death. That's where he starts releasing that connection. That's where he wants to snuggle after sex. That's where he loves the experience. And then it's not a hamburger anymore. It's intimacy. That's where
Okay, that's true. But let's put a little more truth out there. Okay. Let's separate the good men from the scoundrels. There's a lot of scoundrels versus good men. So remember, if you have somebody who's already acting that way, it isn't going to get any better. You can't retrain the animal or the beast unless the beast wants to be changed. That's the truth. And would you like me to be nice than nasty or other way around? What? Let's look at what time I said. Let's look at what time I said first. Look up the best costume you would need and come up with a price idea. Plus, so you can be a perfect thing. Okay, I will do so. Okay. Do you guys? I'm going to keep with the red hair at least probably till the end of the year, though. I might do that. I don't think I'm going to go back to the dark just yet. And then John, what did I say something that offended? Are you talking to me? I don't know. Let's go back. I'm not a good man. I'm not a scoundrel. I'm just a loser. Well, we're talking about behavior and what makes a good mate at the moment. Okay. So don't take everything too personal.
he really falls.
Okay, I'd actually like to move on to something you call the post-nut clarity, which is men don't actually feel closer after sex. And there's something called the coyote.
Oh my God. Post-nut clarity. This is getting very red pill, isn't it? I'm gonna dismantle it.
Ugly effect where men want to basically escape and chew off their own arm after sex.
Well, that's not me, but I've heard those terms before, very
Oh.
much so. Those terms are rife in the red pill community. Those terms are rife, but
See
the
that?
problem is that a lot of men are
I
out
guess you're
there
right.
desperate, hormonally imbalanced, not happy. They don't know how to connect to a woman. Most men, the executive men that I work with, I ask them, what do you want from a woman at all? Why would you want a wife? And they can't even answer. They have no idea. So they want something they can't define. And their brain says, I'm emotionally and biochemically starved.
Did you hear that? Half of everybody, well, more than half, I'm assuming more than half of who he's dealing with is saying that they don't know what it is that they want a wife for or a relationship for outside of, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. So that leads to what? Then do you actually want to deal with another human being, or do you just want a robot that lays there and the light turns on and it's on and then off when it's off again? The basis of a relationship, gentlemen and ladies, is that we complete each other. Okay, male to female. Like, he's going to start talking about, now this is the one thing I do remember. I did not watch this whole thing. I watched about 20 minutes of it. And I said, okay, I'm going to dismantle this guy a little bit. There's some things he says that rings a bell, but as you can tell, he's already carrying on with some of the red pill mantra, manosphere mantra, and the sales pitch that has been leaking into the current media. Now, mind you, number one, this is all listed on Homeland Security and most of the guys who propel this crap into the atmosphere. Number two, all the psychology reports are coming out. Any men, let's just put the women to the side for a second. All the feminists, the dumb broads, screw them, put them to the side. We're talking about men right now. This is the equivalency. Okay, this is feminism for men. They're creating division between the sexes. You can't separate really through racism anymore. That card's been played and it's done. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Straight up, they don't care. It doesn't carry any weight anymore. So what is the next thing? And me and Toasty were talking about this not too long ago. The next thing is this. And it will cross all barriers of life, ideologically, religiously, whether they are from Istanbul to China and back again. The division between men and women that you can create artificially and then turn it into reality is hard at play. And you're watching it right now in real time. Why? Because it keeps destroying the family unit. Number one. Number two, it keeps the males docile and it keeps the women busy. That's why.
Most men don't have touch at all, affectionate touch at all after the age of 10, even with family or friends. So the only touch they have is sex. So I'm starving. I should find someone to have quick sex with. And then they find someone who she says, I'm not worthy of love, but maybe if I have sex with somebody, he'll like me. And that's a recipe for disaster. So after sex, he goes, oh man, I got my needs met, but I'm done. I'm out of here. I have no emotional connection to you at all.
All right. Now, listen. When I first started hitting the dating scene, I was running like you wouldn't believe, okay? And when I mean running, I was running away from the whole expectations thing. This whole mindset that men are just these creatures who don't get any attention or affection. Okay, all right. That might be a little bit true. But for the most part, I am not going to take away from you gentlemen the fact that you're an apex predator, all right? That's the truth. And when they do this, they are taking away the danger that you are in reality and that you can represent and that you can do. All right. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. All right. Remember, good men keep the pirates at bay. And they do that through what? Force. All right. But why did I say that? Because that same mentality, they seek out a mate. They use a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, baby, you wife material. Yeah, baby, I'm going to marry you. Blah, 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 blah. All the things that they do or did to coerce you to get you into bed. And then they got that notch and they go walk off clicking their heels. Like, that's still a fucking thing. Let's not try and sell to all of the boys, oh, you just don't get touched enough. That's why you're still leading women on. No, you're still doing that because that's what you've always done. And it's up to women to get a little bit smarter, not to end up just another appetizer on the menu. Okay, girls, grow up a little bit.
I got the dopamine and I'm out, but now I have to play games with your feelings here. I don't want that. So he wants to escape. And she is more connected
Amen,
than ever because now
Spittle.
she's hoping this is a growing romance. That's the disaster that with Tinder, with dating apps, with casual sex, it's setting everybody up to be miserable. And it's destroying him too, because now all he's done is meet a desperate need, but in the worst possible way, and then create a disaster of a train wreck as he leaves. It sets him up to repeat that cycle in a week or two.
So is it kind of like you're on a diet and you get hungry because all you're eating is lettuce. And so you're like, I'm just gonna have the ice cream. And then once you've had the ice cream, you kind of beat yourself
Pacifying behavior.
up over having the ice cream. Is it kind of like that with guys? Is that what's happening?
It's even worse than that. I want you to imagine somebody who has survived on nothing but stale beef jerky for the last 30 years. And occasionally,
I'm starving, baby. Throw me some crumbs. Have you ever heard that, girls? I've heard it. Have you ever heard, please, please, please? And then they beg. I have.
he walks across a gourmet meal that someone has left.
Men, have you ever heard from the ladies? Please, 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 throw me a bone, gentlemen. I'm sure you have also.
On the street. He attacks it. He eats it as fast as he can. Then it's done. He's not going to stay there. He's just going to keep going. He doesn't understand where the food came from, how it came to be. He has no connection, no intimacy, no bonding. He's not going to wait outside the restaurant hoping it happens again. He's going to move on. Most men are so starved and they have no idea how relationships even work that they can't form proper bonds anymore. Most men want them, but they don't know what they look like or how to do it.
Okay, gentlemen in the audience. Do you agree with what he's saying? That most men they want one, but they don't know how to formulate one. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not going to get struck for that. Am I just doing they're just doing that? Let me know. Do you feel like you want one, but most men just don't know how to achieve one properly? Because, at the end of the day, it's all about you and her being the foundation. Okay? We're supposed to be friends. We're not supposed to just be nothing but duty. We're also supposed to be friends. How else are you going to enjoy somebody else's company? Let me ask you something. For the long term, like there's some individuals who are so sociopathic that they don't necessarily need a type of a bond, but they need somebody to fulfill a role. Now, there's a lot of guys like that. There's also a lot of women that way. But let's be frank, there's more men that way than there are women, okay? Don't get mad, men. Don't get mad, but I'm right, because there's a lot of pirates out there. I'm talking about the pirates versus the good men. You got to differentiate between the two. There's a lot of guys who don't even like women. They want to use a woman for sex or whatever the case may be, but they don't necessarily like them. Just like there's some women out there who don't necessarily like men. But then it kind of leads the question, what do you like? If you don't like the opposite sex, what the hell do you really like? The same sex? Like, come on, step forward. Step forward. Let us know. Uncle Guns, Adam Lane Smith, still rewording manosphere concepts. Exactly. Explaining it with psychobabble and wearing a business suit to sell you the solution. Exactly. Bingo. It's exactly what I have been saying that. I mean, considering this is all mainstream and it's part of relationship topics, Star is going to pick it apart. I'm going to pull out my gun and blow holes into little smithereens, because what they're selling you is a flippin' lie. Okay? It's a lie.
Most men have never seen a functioning relationship themselves. Women intuitively try to build it.
Most women today haven't seen a properly functioning relationship either. That doesn't negate personal responsibility, okay? That's the number one thing that I want to barf every time I hear it, see it, smell it, get around it. just like Christ stepping out of the temples, listening to all their religious garb. He would step out of the temples and go, bleh. That's how I feel about this, because they're sowing discord is what they're doing. And they're basically telling you that you're too damn fucking incompetent to figure out how to pull your own life off. The government tells you that by telling you don't know how to spend your own money properly, what to do with your own life. Here, let us come up with the formula for you to follow and fall into place. Just another brick in the wall.
Men don't even learn that. They just go it alone. So most men are starving.
Men, are you
said
starving?
There's actually 3 ways that a woman can
Go
get
where
a
there's
guy to
food.
emotionally bond to her
During sex.
during sex. All right, so you've got number 1, the help me get there method.
Yes. So most women, they go into bed and they tune out completely from their own body. And it's a sexual experience to please him and make him happy. It is a service she provides. It is not a shared experience at all. So they think that's the maximum time to make him happy. This is when I'll make sure he doesn't leave me. This is when I'll make his mood go up. This is
a very. Did I do that? Let me think. Did I do that after I lost my V card? Well, considering it was an older man who got a hold of me, I would probably say no. But did I ever do it after him? Yeah, probably once or twice. That's a younger girl issue. That's a young girl, naive, dumb thing. Okay. If you're going to allow yourself to be used and not be present, and then if you're not going to put any pressure that you have any importance, then somebody is going to be there for the taking. That's number 1. That's rule 101. That applies to men. Okay, gentlemen, if you're going to put yourself in the position to be used, you're going to be used. Girls, if you're going to put yourself in the position to not be important and be used, well, then you have a hard life lesson coming.
so he'll be nicer to the kids. This is so that he'll want to spend time with me later. It's a performance that she's doing. And what most women fail to understand is that if he loves you, he wants you to get there too and have a fun time. That's why a lot of men, if they love you, they go in and they're like, all right, babe, tonight we're doing 20. You're having 20 orgasms tonight. And she's like, please, no. Why is he arbitrarily doing this? It's because he cares about you. And he imagines he's like, man, if I could have 20 of them, that'd be great. We're going to get you there. But if you allow him to lean into the experience and open your body to him in that way, vulnerably, and share with him, and don't fake it, just tell him where you're at. Now, what's amazing at this point is he wants to start making eye contact.
More to the left.
With you, connecting to you, bonding with you. It's an immersive experience for him.
More to the right.
Number 2.
All right, so let's go to number 2. Number 2 is the drunk octopus technique.
Yes.
Drunk octopus.
You like that
technique?
name, huh?
What the hell is that?
Works. Most women are stationary, not moving, because they say, well, he'll tell me where to move to make him happy. He'll move my arms, he'll move my legs, just pose me. If you are immersive and connecting, if you're vasopressin bonding with him by letting him help you through your orgasms, touch him, caress him, touch his face, scratch his back, right? Use your legs, use your calves, touch his body.
Teamwork. No man is an island unto himself, boys and girls. That is a metaphor, the island, okay? It's teamwork. Does the football team win just off of one guy? No. Are most companies built just because of one person? Well, it takes one person. You're talking to one who's done it. It takes one person to initiate. It takes one person for the vision, but you have to build a team in order to make it successful. Does Elon go in there and program all this crap? No. Did Bill Gates or the freak Zuckerberg? No. Smart people, successful people always surround themselves with people who are smarter than them, who get the job done.
Stimulate
Teamwork.
all the non-sexual areas of his body. It releases oxytocin in him now. Now you're not a hamburger with dopamine.
My girl Coco, she is in the gym. Are you on the treadmill, girl? How much cardio are we doing today? And did you hear I started this Coco, did you hear I started this off? I made the thumbnail last night. I just didn't throw it up yet. For Sunday. Sunday fun day, Coco. Later in the evening, so it's more appropriate for her. Let me know if that still works for you also.
You're a loving partner who's stimulating that. And it's amazing is the man's face is actually a heavy place to release oxytocin as well.
My girl, she says, no, I'm lifting cardio 60 minutes after I am done. Is this leg day, butt day, upper body day? What are we doing? Yes, I want to know. Which, by the way, everyone, I'm back to my eggs and blueberries in the morning. Some sour, horrible blueberries. I was asking her, I'm like, is it okay that I put just a little bit like natural honey or something? This stuff is so bitter. It's more bitter than my ex. Like, seriously.
Well, as primates, our faces, we
She
stimulate
said
a lot of oxytocin. But
shoulders and back. And she has great shoulders and a great back.
Right. You have 4 limbs.
It's
Use
working.
all 4 of them. You'll enjoy it. You'll release oxytocin, but so will he.
Damn, Mike
Oh my
is
God, yeah, I
wiggly.
got a quote of yours. Crack him like a walnut with your thighs.
That's it. Like it is. Like play, have fun, play.
I used to ride horses when I was younger. So did Coco. I could squeeze your head and pop it like a zip between my thighs, boys. Did you hear what I just said? Coco, don't spit anything out after I said that. I did. I went there. I'm making jokes and shit. You love it. You know you do. He's telling you all, men and women, be more sensual, be more intimate. You know, before I ever lost the V card, one of the first things I ever did was learn the art of seduction. And I started getting, and like, you know, internet wasn't really a big old thing then, right? So, and I wasn't allowed to do some things anyway, but I went and I got a book on massage. Okay. Got to know what to do.
Hey, be playful. Do what you enjoy. Don't just wait for him to pose you.
Well, speaking
My buddy Shane Berg is in the house. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Thank you for joining.
of, you mentioned it earlier about faking it. I got a stat here. The Psychology Today reports that roughly 59% of women have reported faking an orgasm at least once.
Right.
59%. I think that's absolute BS.
I never faked it. I just said, you know, it didn't happen. Uncle Gun says, team? Yes, team has a leader, a coach. She must be the MVP, but she is still the only player. She will never be the couch. Players must qualify and perform or be cut. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all. Remember, I did say sexual compatibility is a thing. Compatibility, as my mic is doing a roundy round. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. Let's see. Can I fix it? What's wrong with this thing? Okay. What was I saying? I just lost what I was saying. Damn it. Anyways, I don't remember. There we go.
It's like 100% of women and only 59% of women want to admit it.
Coco said she's faked it. I didn't fake it, Coco. I just didn't either say something or I was just like, it didn't happen.
Is that why we fake it? Because we think that's what the guy wants. And if we can't climax, then we worry that he's going to be concerned and worried.
Yes.
So we're like, screw it, let's just fake it.
If she's not connected to him so badly that she has to fake it so he has a good experience, that's such a missed opportunity for vasopressin and oxytocin. Connect with him, talk about it, build it. If you don't have it, that's fine. Try it again next time. This should be it's a teamwork exercise. Right afterward, you should
teamwork
and say, we did it. If he loves you, that's what he's looking for. And if you're not doing that, accidentally the message is...
There's a lot of males. I didn't say men. I said males. Damn you, Mike. I said males who are not interested in pleasing a woman. There really is. But there are some males out there who are. And those are the ones you want, girls. Look for the ones who actually want to give back what it is. Because for men, they can, let's just be honest, they can climax anytime, any place, anywhere. It's not difficult for them. Sex is, when it comes to the act and the art of sex, the act and the art of sex is more for the woman than it is for the men. Okay? Straight up. And as my son gets older, I will make sure he understands this when he gets old enough to understand when the subject comes up. Until then, he stays innocent. But when the time comes, damn straight, I'm going to let him know which end is which end is up, and I don't mean that way. Okay, don't be gross. Don't be gross.
Consent is that you don't enjoy sex. You're just there. It becomes a cold experience for him. He'll stop wanting to do it with you too. A lot
Bullshit.
of men stop wanting to have sex with their wife because she doesn't seem to even enjoy it. And if she can just lean into it and share it as an experience, they can both enjoy it more.
Okay, now I want to move on to the next one, which is pull him onto your chest and hold him there.
Oh my God, that sounds like a mothering thing right there. Gentlemen, do you want a woman to pull you onto her chest and let you just lay there? Do you feel that necessity? I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I'm just kind of curious what you think. Now, there's some people here which would agree with me, some would not. But the statistics are, and with all of the ghostwriters who work with the content creators and these people who write all these stupid self-help me books, which is a ploy to make money. Okay, remember, I start off by saying I don't have a problem with doing stuff to make money, right? My problem is what the media does outside of that, because at this point, there's no real reality. We're looking to something or somebody else on a screen, wherever it may be, to tell us what the truth is and what the reality is. Okay, and therefore, critical thinking is no longer a thing, and that's great for hive-mindedness. That's great for having people move in one accord, right? Whether for good or for evil. It can be, and it can be for either way. But it's destroying society, and it's destroying people's households, and it's imploding people's lives from the inside out. But and I'll go back to what I said that to say this. Now, most of these people who do this, and the ghostwriters and people who, get involved, they'll know the stats. And the stats are this, gentlemen, in the red pill and the manosphere. Listen up and listen well. This bitch is telling you straight up. Only 5% of you are going to do the work, the real work, the internal work to turn your life around. Everything else is a Band-Aid. Here, looks maxing, make some money, and then you'll get what you want. That's pathology right there, 101. That's part of that can be malignant, part of the 3 dark triad personalities, which I also stated earlier, has already came out in all of the papers. Okay, stating that men who participate, and the same thing would apply to feminists, okay? But we're throwing the bitches to the side right now. We're looking at dudes, right? Dudes, we're looking at you men. Now, when we're not taking the percentage of people who've been hurt, we're not talking about the percentages of people who've been done wrong. Everybody, at least temporarily, will turn to something to try to figure out what the hell just happened and how to move on and how to recoup their life to some degree to move on. All right. I'm not talking about that, but people who get really seriously involved in this manospheric stuff share the 3 dark triad personalities: Machiavellianism, pathology, narcissism. Okay. Which are all shared by what? Criminals, manipulation, harm. Okay, so we're looking at apples to apples and oranges to oranges, and then you're trying to decipher the truth and the bullshit from the midst of it. And the truth is, only 5% of men who will do the internal work to really change from the inside out. You can change how you look. You can make some extra money, but at the end of the day, if you're a fucking asshole on the inside, and this applies to you broads out there, so listen well. If you're an asshole on the inside, ain't nothing going to help that until you do the damn work. And who wants to when you get what you want? Do most criminals do that? No, man, not until they have to go through jail. And even then, some of them don't change. So there we go.
That's it. We are primates, and we are lactating primates. And that means that a woman's chest, actually someone laying their head on her chest, the reason we have oxytocin is to stimulate the release of milk. So someone laying their head on your chest will stimulate such an explosion of oxytocin for a woman, more than you laying on his chest, him laying on yours. And
please, I could have got around any baby in a store and my boobs would start exploding. Nobody was touching me and laying on my chest.
Men, our faces touching that area. It remembers in his brain, primally, he remembers the first oxytocin releases from breastfeeding, weirdly enough, that it stimulates oxytocin production for him in a way that
I am not lactating at the moment either. Thank you very much.
Nothing else will. So when I have my coaching clients come in, one thing we build up to is having the woman lie down, even not during sex, lie down, have the husband lay his head on her, and they watch a movie. 20 minutes, overwhelming amounts of oxytocin for men who've never felt it before in their life. And the woman benefits even more than that, grows the intimacy just through lying together like that. So don't lay on him, have him lay on you.
The art of touch, the art of seduction. Get back to it, boys, girls. That's what it's all about. Let's read what Toasty says. Women being on top is hot, honestly. Nothing really compares to watching her body roll in the moonlight with sweat twinkling on her skin like stars. See? The side button in my mouse kicked me out of the studio. I have a side button and I accidentally hit the side button. It kicked me out. Okay. We've established I'm a dork. There we go. So see, ladies, you want a dude like that. You want a dude who's interested in the details and enjoys the act of being with a woman. Toasty says, I've never correlated sucking on the titty to breastfeeding. Yes, I know, right? That's why I asked, if you gentlemen really like that kind of a thing. Do you want to put your head on a woman's chest? Most of us weren't breastfed. Like, women were convinced through the through the medical board. Another slick move, so that way people's immune systems will be much lower and everything else, right? And less bonding, all that crap. Anyways, most women weren't breastfeeding, or a lot of women couldn't breastfeed, and therefore breastfeeding, I would probably say from the 70s through till probably about 10 years ago, it really stopped being a thing. Here, just give them this crap, this powdered crap. It's better for you in the long run. No, it's not. I did the research, and the reason I did the research is because I got giant tits. Let's be frank. I'm an H cup. These suckers, if I hadn't done all of, I know Coco's listening to me. If I hadn't lifted all the weights that I did from 14 years old up, these things would be already down to my knees, but they're not, gentlemen. There's still some of the best natural tits you'll ever see, and you're not going to see them. But I am boasting a little bit. But past that, I did the research because I needed to make the choice, right? Because breastfeeding destroys the breast tissue, makes everything drop quicker. It just literally destroys everything from the inside out. And so I did the research, and the research is thus. There's actual stem cells, white blood cells that go through the breast milk, which induces the immune system. My kid's got a fantastic immune system. I don't, but he does. Breastfed him for almost more than 2 years until I got pregnant again, and then I had my first miscarriage. So there we go. So remember, while everybody seems to think it's all about what the medical board says, or it's all about aesthetics and how you look, no, also consider the fact that it has health and then emotional, mental health benefits to it as well. Okay, not just the bonding and the stable. I would probably say stabilizing. It helps with heart rate and everything else. Believe it or not, ladies. So whip them boobies out and feed them babies. Okay. You too, mama. You got some big old knockers. No, nobody should be touching you past your wife. Somebody's gonna lose fingers and an arm and other body parts. You try that shit around me. Anyways, ooh, Spittle's getting down to details. Pay attention to that. I'm not gonna read that one right now, Spittle, but you guys can read it in the chat. all wine. Howdy, all peeps. Howdy, and welcome in. We are dismantling psychobabble and pathology and things being pushed. This being sold to the peoples on how to make a good relationship and bond. Damn it. Okay, basically, when couples touch each other in general, okay, in general, men to women, women to men, when you do that, you're creating bond, okay, and safety. And my mic keeps moving around like a dork. And here we go. Like, yeah, girls, touch your husband and scratch his scalp, and please make sure you don't have a bunch of dandruff up there. But yeah, touch each other. This is not rocket science. Like, how do you not know that you should be touching your significant other more than just during the act of sex? That's the other mistake that most people make. A lot of men, probably not so much women, because women naturally, it's kind of built into them, sensuality into some degree, right? But some men have to be taught. So teach them, ladies. Get out there and teach them. Oh, shit. You don't see it? Oh, crap. You didn't even hear it. Crap. I am so sorry. I'm like struggling over here today. There we go. Here, I'll rewind 30 seconds and then you'll know what the hell I was talking about here. Yikes.
Don't think to do, but most men are so starved for it that they have no touch whatsoever outside of their wife. If even
Pumpkin
that.
final.
So
Hi,
the more you
baby.
can
Nice
give
to
them, the
see
better.
you.
Ooh. And then when I think about couples that have been together for a long time, they touch each other less.
It's sad, yes, because what's happening is the vasopressin has diminished because they're each going in different directions. So they're each solving their own problems, but they probably are solving problems away from each other because they don't trust each other. So then they're stacking cortisol instead, and then they grow apart.
It's not necessarily a distrust issue. It's a lot of times people don't, especially today, they aren't being taught that you are working together as a team. And so therefore, psychologically, you don't even look necessarily to another person to help with the issue. Some people do, some people do not. I'm one of those people who tend to stay to myself and deal with shit myself until it becomes too overwhelming. And then and don't get around me when I got a temper like that either. Al Wine says, my wife hates touching. She likes to touch me, but if I tickle her, it's a problem. LOL. Well, you're tickling. That's why. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Yeah, you just want to listen to her giggle. And then Coco said, unfortunately, I don't think relationships excite anymore. All the good ones have already in it and been in it over 10 years, just my experience. I would agree with you on that, but we're constantly looking up at new generations coming up, right? We are. So the best thing is for people like me and people like you, Coco, and other common sense people who aren't 20 years old and still panty waist. Yeah, I said it. And so we have to lead them. We have to set the record straight. I might later on in the future be screaming into the void. Of course, that could be an issue. But somebody will come across this and go, let's not listen to the media anymore. Let's just actually experience life and be interested in life. Be present inside of your own life. Be present inside of other people's lives that you have in your life, that you are having relationships with, whether start immediately at home. Like your parents, your siblings, your friends, your coworkers, and then, if you have a relationship, then involve it into your relationship. You stop living your life through the media. Get out there, touch grass, kids, live real life. Okay. That's what your life is there for. You're only going to get it once. Live it. Don't listen to other people and how to do it. Experience it.
And then the oxytocin receptors shut down and say you're not safe to bond with, so they stop. Then the touching
Yes,
stops,
Mask,
and then
good to
everything
see
stops, and
you.
then divorce takes place.
Roman,
Is there any way to test
Ronan,
whether
good
a
to see
man is
you.
high in vasopressin or low in vasopressin?
See, this is women throughout all of human history. Women have wanted a traveling laboratory to saliva swab men, but they
that should be one of your products.
right, like swab.
Does anybody notice her high top shoes? I like those, and you know what? I know what she's doing. She's got like a 3-inch lift built into that because she's so damn short. I like those. I need that. And then I'll be an inch taller than Coco. Damn it. You're not allowed to be taller than me, woman. And she is. How did this happen? No. Just kidding. It's okay. But I need those shoes that she's got on.
I'll be at any moment. But what women have done instead.
You're correct, John, to appease the multiculturalism and Muslims. This is my country. I don't give a fuck about appeasing other countries. This is my country. My family, my name started this country. And if it wasn't for my people, you all would still be under fucking Britain rule. Okay? Straight up. So you can all thank me. Ha, pat on the back. But in the meantime, this is my country and I'm not appeasing to somebody else's religion or ideology. And if they don't like how my stroke is here in America, get the fuck out and don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out, baby. Adios.
Is they look at
and
the
you can quote me on that
behavior. One. You know, people say a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
You look for the 4 levels of safety that he must be providing. And if he's not,
John, baby, in the house.
You stay
finance guru.
Most men will provide the first 2 levels of safety, and women settle for that. All 4 are mandatory if you're going to sleep with somebody.
Take us through the 4.
All 4 would probably be mandatory if you want to have a successful relationship and not be part of the 50% that get divorced. All right. It's been basically 50% since the 1950s. All right. So all this crap that they sell you online about divorce being higher than ever and people don't work out and blah, 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 blah. Well, let's start from the very fundamentals. And this bitch will tell you straight up. All right. First of all, in the early 1900s, divorce and before then, divorce was mostly for the wealthy. Okay. And the bureaucrats and the aristocrats. And most of the times they wouldn't even divorce because they have a legacy to keep, right? A name. And they want to keep that name together and they want to keep all of the fortune also within it. But you have to understand that the population was very small then. So by the time the 1970s hit and the explosion, so-called explosion that everybody likes to talk about for divorce, is because also here's a little bit of common sense and common thinking, which is the population more than doubled in half. More than doubled in half, which what would automatically make the stats for divorce go up based off of population growth. That would also include criminal acts, right? This is like, seriously, do you see what they do? They just take a little bit of whatever and then they completely twist it. And then they have everybody going, oh my God, this is the real truth and the real reality. No, man, my old man since the 1950s preaching out of Allen's camp talked about then, and then all the way through into the 90s when he came back out of retirement, went back into pastoring and preaching and all of that stuff, talked about even then, well, gee, if the Christians really got it all together, then why is it that the divorce rate is pretty much exactly the same as it is in the secular world, even among the Christians who supposedly are supposed to know the Word of God, supposed to not just hear and talk about being in the Word of God, but doers of the Word, right? It isn't about the lip service, baby. It's about what you do. Same with your relationships. You can tell somebody you love them all fucking day long, but, you know, here, baby, whop, let me hit you upside the head. Let me knock you down on the floor. You know, that's not love now, really, is it? It's a lip service, right? It isn't what people do. I mean, it isn't what people say. It's what they do. Excuse me. I had to correct myself.
All right, guys, we'll be right back with Adam. But real quick, if you're done playing small, if you're done being pushed around and you're ready to build unshakable confidence in every single area of your life, then smash that subscribe button right now, because every episode of Women of Impact is here to
I don't care about Women of Impact, but yes, okay,
women will coach with me.
All right, hold on, let me back it up.
He's walking there on the side, protecting you. Something happens, he kind of steps in front of you.
Yes.
Just subtle little clues that you're safe, right? Mandatory.
Actually, that was one of the things when I first met my husband, like on like the second date or something. I said there were 2 things that are non-negotiable for me. My partner can never cheat on me and my partner can never hit me. And the reason with the hit isn't because I can't come back from it. It's because I need to be able to feel safe.
Yes.
Otherwise, I can't trust that person.
It is a man's job to make you feel safe. It's not even that you're bargaining for.
Did you hear that? It's a man's job to make you feel safe, make the women feel safe. What is the mantra that they say today? It's not our job to take care of women. Fuck these women. They can take care of themselves, right? But if the good men don't keep the pirates at bay, then what's going to be left? The pirates take over, right? How are women? Women are in the same category as children as far as the prey. Men are the apex predators, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I've said that on many, many, many times on the stream. There's nothing better than a fucking man who's violent and in control. You understand? There's nothing better than that. You know why? Because he knows how to handle himself. He knows what to do and how to take care of shit and get it done if it has to get done. But he's in control. He's not out of control. We're not talking about somebody out of control. We're talking about somebody who's dangerous and in control. And when you take a man who's dangerous and in control and you put him with a woman who's of equal suit, ooh, baby, you're talking about an unshakable foundation.
For it. That's the floor. That is the entry point. Okay. So physical safety. Level 2 is resource safety. Now, a lot of the women who coach with me, they're executives, they run businesses, they have more money than the men do. That's not the point. It's not that he pays your bills. It's if something bad happened, who's going to get up and fix it? Who's going to go work on it? Right? Build a perimeter around her, go out of the perimeter, gather the resources, bring it back to her. The woman should not have to leave the safety perimeter. The man, that's the man's job.
So give me an example of
We have to talk to people like they're invalids. We have to remind people the basics that women are not built the way that men are built. This is so retarded that we've gotten to this point in society, seriously. That women are not built the same as men. Like, no kidding. Like, we can pretend all day long and we can make the outside look as masculine as we want and pump ourselves full of testosterone and steroids as much as we want, but we're still never going to be anywhere, even half the strength of a man. Seriously. And we have to actually sit there and say, men, you have to remember that women are vulnerable. This is how far we've sunk as a society. And I'm here to remind you all, it's stupid. It's stupid. You're not going to get around biology. Never. It's not going to happen. X chromosome, Y chromosome, women's pelvises are built different than a man's. Hence why we can squeeze out a fucking watermelon between our legs. Okay? Like, seriously. Yeah, you need to take care of your women, men. Even my old man, born 1928, survived the Depression. I keep saying it all the time, and I want everybody to get this through their head. I come from old stock, okay? He was abandoned at the age around 10 years old, came home one day, and the whole house was boarded up. Everything was locked. Now, we're talking about Washington in the freezing snow, a kid trying to fend for himself, all right? And that old man had style. And that old man was tough as nails. And that old man was a man's man, but he was still a gentleman. He still knew how to conduct himself. He was dangerous as fuck. All right. He was a bad boy until the Lord got a hold of him. Straight up bad boy. You have no idea. And I'm okay with that. But his life changed, but he was still a gentleman. He still knew how to conduct himself. He still knew how to dress, and he still knew how to treat a woman. All right. So you got, and he said, even then to me, because I was having issues and I was extremely nice, very kind, very accommodating, feminine, all of those things. I made a lot of money, made a lot of power moves in my industry. I controlled, I dominated. If I do anything, I want to control, and I want to dominate it. I want to be number one. Okay. Competition in life, honey. This whole thing that everybody's equal, give everybody a fucking trophy, bull fucking shit. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be number one. And look at all the elites. They're still number one now, aren't they? And they aren't going to give up those power plays, are they? They're not going to give up their seated position. But the basics is this. Even he said it is a man's job to take care of his women and his children. Period. End of story. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. A woman cannot be all and do all, just like you cannot be all and do all. There has to be give and take. There has to be yin to the yang. We have to work together, and when we do, we complete each other. Stop being in competition with each other. You're fucking annoying me, okay? And I'm just as much of a bitch that I will spank all of you and put you to bed without dinner. All right? Listen to me. The teacher is telling you, stop being in competition with each other. Stop beating each other up. Work together. Learn to understand each other. Love each other. You complete each other. Without each other, we are incomplete. You ain't going to get it done by yourself. Dream on and kiss your ass goodbye. Kiss your lineage goodbye. If that's what you think, you're never going to get it done. Good luck.
For resource safety.
Let's say something catastrophic happens and you need a special doctor. Your husband goes and finds it. You need a special lawyer. Your husband finds him, right? The banks collapse, right? Your husband goes out and gets food, right? He takes care of you.
Yeah.
Something bad happens. He gets up and does it, right?
Okay.
Those two levels.
Yeah.
I disagree with you, Uncle Guns, and that is part of the mentality that is the problem today. If everything and everybody is disposable, then nothing's worth a fucking shit. If the woman that you say that you love and the children that she gives you, or the case may be, there is no other legacy. You ain't going to take your shit, your money, your stuff with you when you drop dead. She will carry on your legacy. And the more she loves you and the more your kids love you, your legacy will continue to live on. If they don't, I guarantee you, they'll spend it and it'll be gone. But the reality is by this, after the second generation, going into the grandchildren, everything that you have built 9 times out of 10, not 100%, but 9 times. Well, I'll be generous. I'll say 8. I'll say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. The wealth is gone. Everything that you built is gone anyways. That's just what people do. They do stupid shit. They get money. They don't do anything smart with it. They spend it like retards. Okay. That's what they do.
Women stop there and say, that's more than I ever had growing up. That's a dream come true. That's enough. That's all I could ask for. And most men say, this is more than I had. So this is all there is. Most people stop here. And that's why people get married there and then divorced catastrophically later. Avoidant men will give you that. They'll promise up to that.
Oh God, here's the terms again. The coined terms. Here we go. Avoidant this. Avoidant attachment. What the hell is this shit? What is this? What are all these stupid terms? And it's for the masses to go, oh yes, that sounds right. Go buy the book.
And no more.
Oh, so that's why if you get those two, you feel like it's great, but you actually can be with an avoidant man and not realize it.
By accident. We call this juvenile masculinity. I'm physically protective and resource.
Juvenile masculinity. If you're juvenile, you're not masculine. Number 1. Okay. You can be a man and you can not be masculine. All right. Let's be realistic here. If you're a juvenile, then you've got Peter Pan syndrome in my world, and in my opinion, and Never Land is always going to be your goal. I don't ever have to grow up. I don't ever have to. There's a lot of guys like that in California, for sure. Like the party's still going. I'm still a kid at 35 years old. I still got all this life to live, man. People are having families 17, 18, 19 years old and into the workforce. This whole mentality that, oh, my childhood is still extended past 25. No, man, your childhood is done. Start being mature. What's wrong with being mature? Maturity is what leads the way. Maturity is what builds companies and countries and everything else. It isn't being juvenile. So then what are they selling you? They're selling you the constant irresponsibility and lack of self-accountability. That's what they're selling to you. And the ability to blame shift. And what are we seeing everywhere? Blame shifting. Not me, it's them. It wasn't me. I'm the victim. It's them. Somebody else. But the common denominator is what? The common denominator is always in the middle of the problem. It's me, right? Or it's you. Put it on a self level. If things are constantly going wrong, you got to stop looking at everybody else at some point and do what did I say? The 5% who are successful, who get in to manospheric, or the 5% of dumb broads who get involved in whatever feminism is today. The crutch. Okay, the crutch that you're supposed to get in and get out. Learn something, get the fuck out. Okay? Only 5%, right? Right? So what is going on? It comes right back to self, the common denominator, why things are constantly going wrong, or there's upheaval, or relationships are not working out. Like me and Coco, and I've talked about this with other people. Like, here's one of the biggest issues. Like, putting the broads to the side, let's just look at the gentleman for a second. They see a girl. She fits a type. That's his type. He's smitten, you know, the dopamine is going off like crazy, sex, this, you know, whatever the case may be. But they aren't doing the rest of the work and making sure that the person on the inside of the package is also good and is the right fit for them. And instead, they look past it and they stick around with these dumb chicks. And then they go, well, it's her. And I'll say the same thing to the broads. Okay. The same thing applies to them. But at some point, it's not the broads, it's you. It's not the dudes, it's you. It's what you're attracting. It's what you're picking. It's what you're familiar with. Me and Self-Made were even talking about this the other day. We're talking about how people are constantly getting themselves involved in things, and the face changes, but the situation doesn't. It's the same personality type. It's the same situation. And people will always subconsciously gravitate towards what is familiar. So if you come from dysfunction, you're going to gravitate to other types of dysfunction or the same dysfunction because it's familiar. Familiarity is also comfort. So that's why that 5%, there's only 5% who are successful who get themselves involved in this type of shit. You see where I'm going with this? Because it still comes down to self.
Protective, and that's where it stops. That's my whole job. Then I'm going to drink beer and ignore you for the rest of the weekend. Make sense? Your husband doesn't stop there though, right?
No.
What else does he do? Probably a number of good things.
Yeah, I was like, well, I don't know where to start.
Emotional connection.
I literally said he nurtures my feelings.
Right. You feel safe in his presence, not just physically, but emotionally.
1,000%. I
thank you,
trust him with my
Coco.
vulnerability to never use it against me.
Right. Level 3, emotional safety. She can bring concerns to him, and the concerns will be handled delicately, respectfully, and calmly. And she's safe from his emotions as well. He has them, but he disciplines them. He's calm and he is steady. He's predictable. So level 3, emotional safety. Level 4 is bonding safety. Like, we want to swab him. Is he connected emotionally?
Okay, let's break it down to more simplistics. The simplistics is, gentlemen, this. You are protectors in general, right? All right, protectors, providers, right? So you don't just protect physical safety, you are also protecting emotional, mental, and spiritual safety, okay? So if you're tearing her down mentally and emotionally, well, number one, if you're doing that, you're a creep. Number two, because that's a mental abuse. Number two, if you're not doing that, why should you be doing that? Because if you don't, you're already creating cracks in the foundation. All right. And you want the other person that you're with to succeed. If you're not with the other person and you don't want to see that person succeed mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, there's something wrong with you. You want to watch somebody fail that you say that you love? Or do you want to watch yourself succeed? Because when they succeed, you're succeeding. This is another thing that really pisses me off with people. They seem to think that I'm just going to do everything without you. And if I don't like this and I don't like that, then, you know, you can just go somewhere else. But the truth is, their successes is your successes, and your successes are their successes. Their failures are your failures, and vice versa, because you're not a damn island to yourself. So whatever you're going through, you're affecting the other person. Whatever that person's going through is affecting them or the entire household. You see where this is going? Do you see where this is going? This whole thing that you were the most important thing in the whole world, and me, and I, and everybody else is somewhere else. No, and no. Okay, sure. If you're living on an island all to yourself, all by yourself, okay, sure, fine, whatever. But you're not. You're here in contemporary society, in contemporary world with people all around you, often family members, friends, coworkers, or other loved ones, right? Significant others. You're not by yourself. So then what are we doing? We have to build each other up, because if we're not building each other up, we're tearing each other down. And that is what? Self-defeating. It's never going to work. You're tearing down your own fucking foundation. Stop doing that.
Through oxytocin and through vasopressin. Am I trusted, and am I really in his life, or am I replaceable? Is he sharing with you about his challenges? Not whining and complaining at the end of the day, but sharing the concerns that he has, talking you through his plans. Is he bouncing ideas off of you? Is he coming toward you to spend time with you, not just for sex, but for real connection? Does he want to look in your eyes during sex? Does he talk to you?
A lot of males don't do that today. How many males are out there neglecting family or their wives because they're playing video games or watching porn? Or can you say porn now? Prawn. I am sorry. Prawn. Or they're on their phones, or they're doing something else. It's something constantly distracted from anything and everything. What did I start off by talking about? Being present in your own life and in the lives around you. How many kids or people are going to grow up watching their parents with their head and their back to them? I remember my dad growing up, or my mom growing up, and their head was always, their back was always to me, because they're always playing a fucking video game or doing whatever else, or watching videos or some other stupid crap. That's what's going on. We're constantly distracted from our own lives as opposed to living our lives. Do you not see the insanity? And then you wonder why everything feels so weird and it's so off.
Does he ask you questions about your day? Does he talk about you as if you are his trusted ally and executive partner in his life?
Cam girls.
Or does he just talk about you like you're the girl
anything?
Who his coffee?
Ooh, didn't expect you to say that. Okay, so if you have the first two, which most marriages have, that will usually end in disaster.
Yeah.
But if you have all four, the likelihood is that you can weather the storm.
It drops to almost 0% risk.
Of separation and divorce?
Separation to divorce.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because it's building the foundation. It's not just exterior interests or duties of interests. It's building the proper foundation, which is you and her. If it's not you and her riding it out, then who the hell is? You, yourself, and I? No. Back to the all about me? Selfishness. No.
It is the defining feature. Now, on the other side, women then must, because that allows a woman to shift into a feminine state. She does owe the man 4 levels of peace in return. But most women never get there because they're never allowed to feel safe. So there's nothing they can really give.
Okay, so what's the other 4 then?
The other 4?
Let's see. What did Toasty say? I think the better question is, why don't you? Question mark. Why don't me or women? What? Especially if they're raised by single moms that are producing men who don't act like the men that they should be. Well, there have always been single moms throughout history. You do realize this, right? You do realize this. And then society during different times dictates what is going on with the children, what is going on with the women. However, males have to keep males in check. All right. Women can take care of it until males start getting testosterone, the single moms. And then it's pretty hard to keep them in check. I watched my aunt Cheryl. I'll say fucking names. And if they come across this, I don't give a shit if it pisses them off. And I watched my Aunt Cheryl raise my cousin, Jeremy. I used to call him Jerry the Fairy. We used to get into some knockdown drag-outs, honey. Woo. Anyways, I'd say mom and dad were constantly telling her, you need to find somebody and you need to get married. But she kept looking at her father to be the one to raise her son. Okay. And when it came time, Jeremy gave Cheryl, who is 4'10" and a paraplegic who got her back broken in an accident by a man who raped her and threw her off of Angel Crest Highway. Okay. To kill her. All right. And she did. She died twice and they brought her back. But past that, he had to step in when he started getting out of control, and he did get out of control. So men and single moms, you can raise a good boy, but sometimes those boys need a man who gets them into check. So, try to formulate a relationship with somebody who's trustworthy. mind you, I said the word trustworthy, which is pretty hard to do these days, but if you can find one trustworthy to help keep that boy in check, then do it. But, you know, women do what they have to do. People do what they have to do. You can't sit there and shame people for whatever life and whatever cards that they have been dealt. Like this whole finger pointing. Well, okay, go point your finger at some single mom. Okay, well, what are you doing? I don't mean you necessarily, Toasty, but you know, guys or other people. What the hell are you doing with your life that's so fucking perfect? There's no such thing as perfect. And I don't live my life to appease other people. So what's this weirdo thing that you have this stigma in your head and everybody else has to live and live their life to that stigma? Well, that's like a religious, that's like how religious people can get now, isn't it? And I'm a preacher's daughter and I don't like that shit at all.
Level 1 is calm. She has a calm, regulated nervous system. But it's like when I walked in to your studio, right? You're just like, you have this aura of calm that when people come near you, you're safe. It's calming, regulated nervous system. So everybody's energy comes down and they're peaceful. It's a calming, regulated space. So he builds the perimeter, but you fill it with calming aura, calming energy. And there's times for co-regulation, but if it's 24/7, yeah, you're not returning any peace to him. Then you're a problem for his brain to solve. His brain puts you in the problem-solving category instead of the partner category, and then you're just a person who he has to work on. So he works at home, then he comes home and works on you. That's why a lot of men start to.
Well, that's kind of backwards, considering he just said most of the time they spend their time avoiding. So, are the men fixing the women, or are they avoiding them? Make up your mind, doctor. I would probably say that is incorrect. Most men are not trying to fix women. Now, there's a lot of men who are domineering and want to control women. Okay, but are we working together to fix certain issues? No, we're not doing that. So maybe we should try that, huh? How about that?
Resolving that relationship. So calm. Level 1 is calm. Level 2, gentleness. Gentleness, not silence. Never silence. She has to speak up, but a gentleness in her speech, right? You have to talk to your husband. What do? You ask him questions, right? What kind of questions do you ask him?
So basically we're supposed to walk on eggshells no matter what. Is that what you're telling me, therapist?
Oh, well, the other day I asked him if he wanted to talk about his feelings, and he said, "No, I'm thinking of
I'm
myself."
with gas mask. More. Can I even say that word? I don't know. But more cream, and then pies, and then more families. Yes. Bring it on.
Okay. Did you push? Did you get mean? Did you bite?
No, I said, "All right, babe. If you need to talk, I'm here."
That's it. Gentleness, just like that. You ask questions. You're curious. You invite. Most women don't know how to invite. They chase. They don't invite. They chase because they're nervous, and then they fail to invite. They fail to ask. They're afraid questions will be punished or turned off, right? Gentleness is asking questions from a loving perspective instead of attacking or litigating. Okay, level 2. Level 3 is loyalty. And yes, sexual loyalty. We'll put that aside. Most women are very sexually faithful. Actually, the research shows, right? But
listen to that. But what does the red pill say? That women are not faithful at all. But the research still shows the same empirical data that they like to use, but yet say they're a red pill, right? The empirical data is corrupted, but yet it's empirical data, right? But still, the empirical data shows that women are biologically more faithful. So I guess that blows that one out of the water now, doesn't it?
Task-based loyalty, challenge loyalty. Loyalty is the woman going to the man and saying, "Hey, look, there's a problem. What are we going to do about it? Us. How are we going to work on this? What's our plan? Just tell me and we're going to work on it." Right? Loyalty. And that triggers his brain, that vasopressin. We've solved.
Hi,
It
Iceness.
can be as little as putting a jigsaw puzzle together.
Have you
learning a
in?
skill,
Welcome in.
redoing your couch, paying your bills, paying off your debts, building a future vision. It has to be done. It's mandatory. And that creates level 4 peace, which a lot of women stop short on because they're afraid it won't be welcomed. Level 4 peace is executive partnership. She is his executive partner. What I teach is a model of marriage. It's very much the man is the CEO and the woman is the COO, Chief Operations Officer. They're both co-founders equally, but they're also set there in those roles so they can build a life together. Your marriage is a business that you're building as a team, and every other business springs from it. So she is a co-executive. That means you don't run and fetch his coffee.
People hate that terminology today. They put it like, "Oh, marriage is a business." Well, it's a partnership, regardless whether you like it or not. It's still a partnership. And he's not incorrect on that. What did I start off by saying this entire time? You and your woman are the foundation to which everything is built upon. Whether it, not just the marriage, not just the intimacy, not just all of that, but then what happens in the midst of that? Children, and then the legacy. That's part of your legacy. Your woman and your children are your legacy. If you want to stay single, okay, well, that's your choice. That's fine. If you, like Uncle Gunn said, like, he has women fighting over him. Well, those women, there's always been those women throughout history. Okay. There's always been women who are willing to share men. That doesn't make it right, but they're there. Am I one of them? No, I'm not. So, but they're there. It's like groupies, honey. It's like groupies. There's always groupies around.
Coffee. You can care for him, but you can also gently challenge him on concerns. You can ask him what he's going to be doing about this. You can make sure that expectations are met. You're clear about it. Executive partnership is something most women are afraid won't be welcomed.
So when we talk about the CEO and we talk about the COO,
Amen.
Beautiful dynamic that can work amazingly well. You can build amazing companies, you can build amazing relationships, like it's amazing. But that control piece, there is really a fine line between someone that's taking the reins because they are healthy and they want to lead the relationship versus someone that actually wants to take the reins because they know it's going to be a mechanism for them to be able to control you down the road.
Yes. I always look for contempt.
There's a lot of that. I've had 2 of them. How many women out there? I know Coco's, if she's still listening. Coco's one of them. I'm one of them. I had that older guy who was a piece of shit, by the way. Total trash. Okay. Total trash human being. And he said to me one day, he says, "You see that star?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "See, we all do that." This guy was making the snarl noise. And then he followed it up by saying, like, when we not only do that, we all play the nice guy routine till we get you. That's what he said to me. And he was absolutely fucking right. Predator, though, you see? We're talking about the differences between predators who don't give a shit if whether or not this is a good relationship, a bad relationship. You're just a tool in the toolbox to be used. Versus good men who want the partnership, who want the significant other to have a personality, have a brain, have an opinion. What fun is it if everybody just does what they're being told? Now, for military guys, Uncle Guns, or certain other types of people, they like that type of stuff. There's guys like that. Fine. And there's broads who will accommodate. Women will fucking accommodate. Society knows that. That's why they put women into positions that they shouldn't be in. That's why they turn women out into feminism to take up what men won't do anymore. Okay? Well, if there's a lack of men leading in positions, then what happens? Even historically, women will step in and fill the fucking roles. That's just how it is.
First, not just toward you, but toward other people. And contempt meaning they look down on others, they mock others, they belittle them, they insult you, they dismiss you, they tune you out. This is why when I was updating the field of...
How many women are out there who experience this? Lots of us have experienced exactly what he's talking about. And then you can add to it, the screaming, the yelling, the throwing shit at you, the violence. Like, people seem to think like violence is not a real thing. It is a real thing. Domestic violence is a real thing. It is what it is.
Attachment theory, I had to split avoidant into 2 separate parts. Dismissive avoidant had to split. Ethical avoidant, where they don't ever want to hurt anyone. They're just biochemically starved and closed off, versus the manipulators. And the one key factor on that spectrum,
the pirates,
is their contempt and treatment toward other people. Ethical avoidant people say other people are not to be trusted, but it's because they're stressed out. They're confused. They're afraid. I understand. I don't hate other people. I don't want to hurt anybody. I just don't want to get hurt myself. So they stay over here. Down the spectrum, as they
that was me.
Childhood, it creates more and more.
That was me for a long time. It was, oh God, I don't want to hurt anybody, but I don't want to get hurt. Walls. And then that doesn't help you either as the person going through shit or trying to work your shit out. That don't help you either. Coco says facts and time wasters. Damn straight. And P. Fletch, I am just looking for a cute little chick that likes smoking herb and having a good laugh. Well, honey, I hope you get that. We've talked about this. You have to put yourself in the position to get those things. Okay.
More of an
We all
anger
do.
against other people of other people are bad. They're out to hurt me. They'll do whatever they can. I have no trust for other people. And what they'll tell their wife is, I don't trust anybody. I just distrust you the least.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Maybe for some guys, but yeah. Anyway, bare minimum says if females objectify themselves, the males will follow that behavior. The females objectify themselves to get the male attention. Okay. Females objectify themselves, if we're talking about today versus 20 years ago. All right. And the reason I say 20 years ago, because that's when Britney Spears and all the other shit started coming out. And the reason I bring her up is because you started seeing 7-year-olds and 6-year-olds emulating, sexualizing of children. All right. And then now that they've got that going, here we go, right? So you want to get mad at females objectifying themselves. Well, they do it to get your attention. They do it because they're told to do it. They're doing it because society is setting them up because this is how you do it. And if you do this, you get that. So you can get mad at females all that you want, but it's still men at the end of the day who run the industry. Okay? I'm gonna stand up for women on one thing, and I'll put it to you this way, and this is the absolute truth. The industries run plastic surgery, makeup, clothes, style. Those are still predominantly men. Those men are putting for women the acceptable level to which men want. Do you get where I'm going with this? So women spend their time running around trying to stay valid for you. They would say it's not for you, but they're fucking lying. I don't get dressed for me. I get dressed for men. Okay? I get dressed to look good for men. I don't get dressed to look good for women. I don't give a flying fuck what women think. I get dressed for the opposite sex, baby. Coco does too. Normal women do that, all right? But all these other stupid little girls and all these other dumb broads who don't know any better, they are being shaped and molded by society who is still being ran by men, whether they are homosexual men or not, which they normally are, all right? Because who's in control of that? Of makeup, hair, style, blah, 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 blah. You're watching it. I did a couple of shows not too long ago showing Ariana Grande. And I was talking about Brittany Murphy, okay? I was talking about Brittany Murphy because I met her. I've met her a couple of times. And the last time I had seen her, she looked horrific. And she looked sad. And I looked at her. Do I have the book next to me? I think I might have the book. If I don't have the book, I'll go find the book. I don't think I showed it, but where she wrote to me blessings and love and put little hearts and stuff like that to me, because I told her, I said, don't listen to these freaks. I said, you're still beautiful. I said, take care of yourself and stop listening to these people, because they were starving her. Why? Because homosexual men get pissed off at women because they're naturally women. That's their competition, and they destroy women's lives. And those are the same people who run society, and the women flock thinking, this is what I have to do. This is how I have to look. This is how I have to behave. And then I will get the gratification of the male attention that I want. 101 psychology. This is not very difficult. Stop looking at women as the enemy. We're not your enemy, honey. It's your own brotherhood who has sold you down the river, used all your own vices against you. It is not women, it's men. It's men who've developed OnlyFans. It's men who developed all of the prawn sites and all of that shit that started becoming free in the, 2005 or so. All that stuff became free. Till then it was behind a paywall. There was still some types of like instead of everything being so amoral, where you had to like go to the shop to get the nudie magazine or the tape or the this or the that, it's so easy. It's free and it's inside of your home because it's a destructive force. They know what your vices are. Why? Because males have far more addiction issues biologically than women. Men can be controlled through dopamine and all of your vices, and they are fucking supplying it to you free of charge. Now you're going to get sex robots to replace women, to replace the effort that you would have to place into a woman to get a woman. There's effort. Just like there's effort for a woman to obtain a man. There's effort that has to be taken place. But we have made it so that everything is instant gratification. Everything is so fucking easy. We don't have to work for anything anymore. You can just drive. It's a sexual partner is just like trying to get a hamburger through a drive-through window now. And then you wonder why everybody's so lonely. Men are lonely. Women are lonely. Women deal with it a little bit differently than men because men are more destructive. My old man even said that. Males are very destructive, Star. We're very destructive. And that's why males who stay married usually live longer because the woman usually wants them to stay around longer. By doing what? Here, eat this vegetable. Don't eat that burger. Here, eat this salmon. Don't eat that fatty burger with all of that bacon and shit and fried onion rings and French fries and, have that shake that sugar, which is all straight inflammation to the body, which destroys the heart, the arteries, your erections. Like, there's far more to this than what they're selling to you. And they're just keeping you at odds with each other. Stop letting them brainwash you. Kids, come on.
So down that spectrum, how does he listen? How does he treat you? During the dating game, he'll say a lot of things. Beautiful. What does he back it up with? Where does the emotional safety come in? Women need to flag for emotional safety and for bonding safety, but they also need to flag, is he giving other human beings emotional safety and bonding to them appropriately? What's his relationship like with his mother, with his friends, with his family? How does he talk about them behind their back, right? What are his values? Is he pursuing a long-term goal, or is his goal to survive and get all the money that he can? Start flagging for what this man is doing in his life and how he treats.
What? Make money. Looks, money, status. Looks, money, status. Looks, money, status. And it's not even achievable for most people. Okay? That's all that's important to you, the superficial, then that's all you're going to get. If that's all you want, then you can pay and you're going to get what you're going to pay for.
Treats human beings. Those are the biggest pieces. Down that spectrum toward manipulative avoidant, that's a dangerous game because off the end of that spectrum.
Same, Bear. Bear says, I rarely use the word men due to my observation of the complete lack of men. Yes, that's why I use the word males. When I talk about women, I rarely will say that they're feminine, and I will rarely say that they're ladies. I'll just say broads. So broads for the broads. Sometimes I say it in joke. I'll call myself a broad or a past office bimbo or something. But same thing.
Narcissistic personality disorder.
Oh, there we go.
Disorder, right?
Narcissistic.
All of those things off the end of the spectrum where he doesn't treat you like a human. His brain turns off empathy and views you as an object to be moved. So he won't ever turn around and view you as a partner. You're not even a person.
Where's that line between this is actually very manipulative?
That's sociopathic personalities and mentalities, which are far higher in the population than what people really realize, which are also the same attributes as criminals because they don't think about the long term. They think about in the moment. That's the same thing criminals do. That's why they do what they do. In the moment, they have the gratification, but they don't think about the consequences of their actions. It's the same thing. Oh my gosh!
And they are going to
common
use
sense.
They can to trap you, and then you have the other side where it's like they're just bad at relationships, and they've had such terrible experiences as a child that they actually don't know how to show up as a great partner. And knowing those two differences, I think, is very important.
Yeah.
Coming up,
a gigantic, massive number of affairs happened within the first 6 months of the birth of the first child. Yes.
We'll get back to the show in just a moment. But first,
I'm going to speed forward past her, product plugging, which I'll be doing my own shortly. So don't get mad at me when I do. It's not like I make any money doing this, you know what I mean? But if somebody, speaking of money, I'm still trying to pay off that guy I owe for fixing this computer. So if anybody does want to donate, Anything that you give me, I will give receipts to, and I will show you all where the money is going. I'm not going to be like some of those other people who just take money and say it's for whatever, and they're getting like, I don't know, going and partying or of taking a vacay or something with it. I'm not doing that. I have no interest in doing that. So that's where your money would be going, is to the computer. And at this stage, if you did decide to donate, it would not only just go to the computer, it might go towards the bed, because I cannot stay on one of those damn beds, all the formaldehyde and stuff. But anyways, if you want to know more about that, rewind to the beginning of the show. So I was ranting and raving about things that are going on in my life. I figured every once in a while I should do that. You might be interested or think it's funny. One of the two.
Lisa, now, after you purchased, they'll ask you where you
Oh
had
God,
that
it's still
then.
going. Here we go.
So how do you know the difference between someone being truly romantic and just using those tactics as a way to manipulate you?
A lot of women are listening right now asking the same question. How do I know? You need to cooperate with other human beings. You're not going to know in yourself alone for at least a year. His novelty dopamine will fall off a cliff at about 7 months, but he's going to continue to play nice till 12 months. You won't know. And if you sleep.
Remember that older guy I said who had me? My dumb, young, virgin, naive self, lack of world of experience. We're all nice until we get you. We all play the nice guy routine till we get you. Said by a true sociopath, thank you.
Sleep with him, you're going to get drunk on an oxytocin and connections. You'll know nothing. You will know by asking him very clear, direct questions continuously. And you'll know by running him through your family net and friend network.
And let's be frank. Some of us, both male and female, men and women, have questioned each other, right? And they'll still lie to your face. Like, seriously, you can ask all the straightforward questions that you want, and they can still lie to you. If somebody really wants to fool you, they can. They can't fool you forever unless you're, a vegetable. But I mean, if you're not a vegetable and you're somewhat of a thinking human being, at some point you're going to pick up on go, gee, this is quite what I thought it was. Or, gee, they're doing opposite of what, hey, he says he loves me. Or, hey, she says she loves me, but she just said this other horrible thing to me, which negates any real love, right? So you gotta weigh it out, right? The pros and the cons. If somebody says that they love you and then in the next breath they're tearing you down, then I guess it's not really love, is it?
Constantly. Other people are the answer here. Him and your network, both. Most women are operating in such total isolation that they don't know that they can go to anybody else for help for anything. Most of them are playing guessing games with the man who's supposed to be their husband, and they're not allowed to ask him even one question. That's never going to work. The mark of a good, healthy man is that you can ask him continuous, ongoing questions, and he is patient, he is diligent, he answers completely each time, and then he follows through on the answers because they're true. You have to be asking him, hey, babe, it's great that you're texting me all the time. What's making you do this? When does it fall off a cliff? What does that look like? What do we need to do to make sure we keep doing this? Because I'm enjoying this. I don't want it to stop.
Spoodle says, I feel attacked, sort of vegetable here, LOL. You ain't no vegetable. Spoodle's smart as hell.
What do we have to do to keep
and
this
kind
Is this
too
sustainable for you? Ask him these questions. Most women right now, their gut is like, oh, Adam, I could never ask him that question. But that's why I get a lot of women that text me or email us and email our team and say, Adam, I've been dating him for 8 years now, right? Do you think now is a good time to bring up marriage at 8 years? I'm like, how old are you? And they're like, oh, I'm 35. I'm really like pressing. I want kids soon. You should have talked to him about marriage 8 years ago. What are you doing now at 8 years, hoping that you can bring it up? Well, I've been afraid to bother him. That's most women are. They're being too agreeable and pricing themselves out.
Women by nature are more agreeable. What is it that they do? What do they say about males? Males are disagreeable by nature. That's that testosterone factor, right? That is the I'll put it to this. One of these days I'm gonna get Dan up here. I'm gonna get Dan up here, who's in his 50s, who's been married, had kids, done the whole 9 yards. And he's known me forever, by the way. I had him on here one other time, so I need to get him back up here. We had this conversation one time not too long ago. He's like, this bullshit of males today. He's like, males instinctively step over each other to get ahead. Okay. So this whole, downplaying of what men really are and how men really should be or really are, and putting them more like females, is an absolute lie, because they're competitive by nature as hell. Competitive for a sexual mate, competitive to be number one, competitive in sports, competitive in business. That is men's nature biologically, to be competitive and to be number one. And when you're not, then you better get your hormone levels checked. If you're that docile that none of that shit is concerning to you, there's something wrong and something off in your life. And I would say that also to women to some degree. I'm very competitive. I want to be number one. Anything that I do, if I'm not number one, I feel like a fucking failure. Okay? That's why when I had my business and I was international, I fucking dominated. I took out all my competitors at the kneecaps. No apologies. And that's the fruit not falling far from the tree of George. It is what it is, honey.
For 8 years of just serving somebody mindlessly without actually asking one question. Asking those direct questions will chase away and intimidate the men who don't want that level of relationship. And you want that. You ask him questions. The good men love them. I love that you're thinking this. I love that you're thinking ahead. What do I need? Let me think about that. Oh, this is mostly who I am, but I'm also excited. For me to continue this, I'd probably need this and this. Is that something you could provide to me? Absolutely. All right. Handshake agreement. We will take care of each other this way for the next.
Teamwork.
50 years.
That's so good. All right, so we've got number 2, a lack of genuine empathy. How do you test to see if they have a lack of genuine empathy?
Number 1, look at the relationships.
You can still fake that,
right? I
for
tell
a
men
while.
all the time. A lot of guys with no relationships come to me and say, Adam, how do I get a girlfriend? And I say, well, what are your other relationships like? Well, I don't really have any. That's the problem. She thinks you're a serial killer. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But that's true. Like, the strength of the man's relationships he's in right now tells you what you need to know about that man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't marry a man or date a man for potential. So many women are dating for potential. Someday
Oh my God, he's not wrong about that. Women, I'm gonna do a stream about you broads, and it's coming. I'm gonna school you. I'm gonna spank you. I'm gonna put you little girls to bed too. So don't think you're safe. Not from me. I'm here. I'm gonna blow shit out of the water. I don't care anymore. I got nothing to lose. Honestly, I got nothing to lose. If AI is gonna take over everything, and we're all gonna be sitting at a fucking deficit, I'm gonna go out swinging. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So I mean, so ladies, get ready. Do not be dating men who you think just have potential. Okay. Because the potential that you think is there is not necessarily inside of them. Same thing with you men. You see a woman and you see her with potential. Well, women are easier to groom. Let's be straight about that. And everybody knows it. Women are easy to groom. All right. Because we have that pleasing nature. Okay. Agreeable nature. But if you get a broad and you can't groom her, and you sometimes you can take what do they call it? It's a 3 or 4, right? A hoe. A hoe is a 3 or 4, right? Coco, is a 3 or 4 a hoe? It's not a 3 or 5, right? 3 or 5 is an area code. Anyway, a 3 or 4. I think it's 3 or 4, right? Okay, so we'll just say 3 or 4 is the slut because I can't remember right now. So if you think you can take a 3 or 4 and turn her into a wife, you oftentimes can, but not all of them. Okay, not all of them. So when you get one and she can't seem to turn over that new leaf a little bit, get the fuck out of there. Quit messing around with broads who are destructive. And it's the same thing for you women. Quit messing around with dudes who you think have potential, but they really don't, because they're already living what their potential is going to be. You have to understand that certain people at certain points, when they get to a certain age, that's all that's going to be there. Okay. Unless they fight. That 5% fight to get out of that rut, that grave that my dad would call it. That's open on both ends, and there's a banana peel in the middle. It's a rut. A rut's a grave. And unless somebody is a fighter to get out of the rut, that's exactly where they're going to stay, unfortunately. So stop messing around with what you think is potential and actually go for what actually is already there. already self-made, already self-disciplined, already has the drive. Without the drive, you're never going to get anywhere, male and female. You have to have drive, and the drive has to be change. And the change starts in here. It isn't external. External is a part of it afterwards, but the real change is in here. And at the end of the day, that's what you're going to be dealing with when you're looking at another person. They can look like a 10 all day fucking long. But if the inside of them is kind of, it's a recipe for disaster. There's nowhere to go.
He's going to become, no. Who is he becoming now? Look at his relationships and how he treats them, and then how he talks about them behind their back. There's his sources of empathy. But even when you...
Spittlebuggy said it, always strive to be the better you than you were yesterday. Absolutely. As people, we are constantly growing. And as people, we are constantly learning. And you're supposed to be. And if you're not, there's something wrong. You grow and you learn and you're changing and you're evolving all the way up to your last breath. Don't waste it. The Lord gave you a brain and a mind and a spirit and all kinds of abilities and gifts. Use what the good Lord gave you. Do something with it.
Come to him with emotional challenges, and you come in, let's say 2 months in, you come to him and say, I'm really thinking lately. I'm looking for more safety, and safety to me is clarity. So I'd like to talk about what your outline for the next year of us being together would even look like. What are you thinking about labels? What are you thinking about commitment? What does that mean to you? And you come to him like that. Does he freak out, jump out the window, hotwire a car, and drive to Mexico just to escape? Right?
Sometimes.
Does he try to shut you down? Does he get all tense and nervous, or is he calm? Is he able to lean in and have a talk? Right? Manipulators hate questions. That is the number one smartest thing a woman can ask: is ask questions about the answers, ask questions about the follow-up, ask questions the next day. Never, ever, ever stop asking questions. It will drive narcissists and manipulators and controllers away. They hate it. And good men love it. So it's the distinguishing factor. Women should ask 500 more questions than they do.
Wow, that's so cool. I love that. All right, questions. More
there
questions.
We go.
Perfect. There we go. See?
I'll kind of agree with him on that. He's absolutely correct. Manipulators and people who run in those veins hate questions. They want you to stick to the program. Don't ask questions. Keep your head down and keep moving with the program. That's what they like. That's what your politicians do. That's what Bill Gates is doing. Follow the instruction. Fall in line. Don't ask questions. Keep your head down and keep on marching. They don't like question askers, because question askers means independent thinking, which means you're harder to lead, which means at some point you're going to break out of what they don't want you to break out of, like communism. Fall in line. Don't ask questions.
So you say one of the signs is manipulative withdrawals, as in stonewalling.
Ethically avoidant men withdraw because their nervous system sparks, and their amygdala, the fear center part of their brain, says closeness is dangerous to me. So he gets overloaded. When you get too close to him, he pulls back. If you have heavy emotions, his mirroring neurons in his brain say that it makes him feel your feelings, but he's not used to his feelings because his brain overdevelops to squash his own emotions. So he feels your feelings and backs off, and it causes stress, and he doesn't know what to do. So he'll withdraw to calm his nervous system, not to punish you. And then he'll come back in almost pretending nothing has happened, but try to be kind and gentle. Manipulators punish you with distance. They get cold and distant and aloof.
Oh, yes. I've been through that many, many times. When you're in a heated state, you shouldn't keep interacting. You need to simmer down now, okay? Simmer down and then come back, but don't ever go to bed angry, all right? This old enough broad is telling you, simmer down, but don't go to bed angry, because it's a recipe for disaster, and it builds resentment. And once there's resentment, that's a go nowhere zone, and it will break everything. It will break the strongest barriers, okay?
And they pull away. They refuse to acknowledge you. And they might send angry, bitter little passive-aggressive texts here or there to let you know that it's on purpose. And then when they come back, they'll be angry and aloof and make you earn their attention back.
Constantly biting
at you. That's the big differentiator you want to look for.
Do you experience that?
It's fascinating. When his nervous system is activated, ethically avoidant men turn to the side so that you can't hurt them. And they go like this, and they look peripherally at you. and their nostrils flare. Now, what's funny is if you look through your peripherals, it stimulates your vagus nerve, which says, I'm safe enough, I can calm down. So he's actually regulating.
All right, let's read Coco's because it's extremely poignant. And I've also lived through this many times. So she says, asking question causes a narcs to get violent. I don't know. I eventually got scared to ask or confront them on their bad behavior. Yeah, they do that on purpose to intimidate you. So you'll go away and then you'll just be a good little girl or be a good little boy. But in this case, be a good little girl and sit down and shut up and just do what you're told. That's what they do. And then you get broads like me who are like, oh, really? And I get sick and tired of it. And if they try to hurt me, I'm going to hurt you back. How about that one? That's also a recipe for disaster. But, you know, not all men are used to women who fight back either. That's the truth.
Through his nervous system by looking at you like this. So he'll have this conversation. See, you're doing it now too.
I'm like seeing if I feel any different.
Right. It calms your nervous.
Same. She says, I don't like to use the word narcissist, so I use narcs. Yeah, I don't like to use it either because it's overused. It's not necessarily applicable to everybody in normal society. And it's another trend. It's another fad. But there are people who are like that. I've known several. I've had at least 2 of them in my life. And, you know, after this, if I don't learn at this stage, there's something wrong with me and it's my fault. Okay. So
system over time. So that's why they do that. But he'll listen and he will talk. He'll hesitate, but he'll talk and he'll share. And he's doing it with empathy, with respect. He's deliberate. He's careful with his words, but he is speaking. That's what you're looking for. If he's contemptuous, angry, vindictive, passive aggressive, sarcastic, snarling at you, dismissing you, bad sign, very bad sign.
And often dangerous. Spittlebuggy says, only ask questions you know the answers to first to suss out what type of person you're dealing with. At School of Thought, never call a woman uppity, even if they are being so. It's better for health. Yeah, you're right. Because you're tearing down somebody's character. And it just sets people off. And then whatever that fight was is now grown into World War III. So, you know, it's best to try to, when you're dealing with conflict, it's best to try not to attack people's core, you know, and try to tear them down at their core. You know, you got to really remember that words have power. They do. Even the word of God says that words will lift you up or they will tear you down, that there's power of life and death in the tongue. Okay. So what are we doing? We are either lifting something up or we are tearing something down. So if you're going to tear down your significant other, as opposed to working through something, although if that other significant other has really horrible things that they're doing, really horrible traits, and they don't want to deal with it, well, you know, it's not going to go anywhere. It's already dead. Move on. But if you're in a relationship and you're trying not to blow the whole thing out of the water, the last thing you want to do is attack each other at the core and tear each other down. Because what is that? You're just tearing down a part of yourself. Whether you like it or not, you're one flesh. Get over it.
Because he's only going to, when men don't get better over the course of relationships like that, they get worse.
Oh,
lepers don't change them spots, baby.
Slip.
He has less and less incentive to treat you with kindness. In a bad relationship.
Yep.
Whew.
Heavy stuff.
All right, yeah. Number 4, we've got excessive need of control. So what's the difference between someone who gets anxious and so they control things to lower their anxiety?
Oh, yeah.
Versus someone who is manipulative and they're using that control element as a way to make sure that
she's looking at men like they're women. Is anybody noticing that when she's describing stuff, she's giving people passes and she's describing things like you would a child, and you're talking about adults. I think that's one of her biggest failbacks on certain things. Did I say that properly? I think I did. She's looking at it. She's looking at men like they're women. That's number 1. That's the number 1 problem. Number 2, she's looking at adults like children. Okay, like most men aren't like the same type of anxious that she's describing. That's a woman thing. That's not really most of a man thing.
trap you.
You know, this one's funny. I work, so in my company, I work with a lot of avoidant men who help me run everything on the back end. Avoidant men make excellent workers. They work harder than anyone else. But
yeah, they do.
What's funny is when you cross into their domain, especially on days where they're already tense, they had a fight with a girlfriend, they're tired, they didn't sleep well, they're hungry. You cross into their domain.
Ty Man is saying he needs a funny break. I'm gonna give you one. Here you go.
Is that a pinky? I'm an evil cat. I'll bite your bitch off.
There you go. Was that a good one? Is that a good little break? Good little pick me upper. Listen, I'm not downing you boys. I'm not doing that. We're talking about the pirates versus the good men. All right. And that's what he's talking about. How do women figure the formula out? There's no real formula. There's the girls and boys, but girls right now, and boys, but girls. There's boundaries. Okay. You have boundaries. And if you're going to let people cross over your boundaries, then you're just a fucking revolving door. And again, you need to fix the problem because the problem starts with what? You.
And they immediately get prickly because their brain says, oh, someone's coming to take from me. And then they say, I'm not going to let that happen. So they puff up kind of like a rooster and they make a loud noise and tell you like, hey, I don't like what's happening here. With an ethical avoidant man, all you have to do.
Ethical avoidant.
Come in calm and say, hey, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. This is not an intrusion. I don't intend it that way at all. If it's taken that way, I apologize. Tell me what's going on so that we can solve this together because I want to make sure you're covered, but I also have this concern over here. So what you're doing is taking a conflict, you're laying your goal right on the table and asking them to lay their goal on the table. And then you put it together and you do what we call level 4 communication. You are going to negotiate openly, transparently, gently. And
the art of business, how to negotiate, also applies in your own life and all things that you do. Do you have people in your life that when things are happening, you know how to negotiate them with them and vice versa?
And calmly, we're going to negotiate. It's just a good faith negotiation. But about our goals. And as you listen to them and talk with them, they immediately soften. And what's incredible is they immediately flip into problems.
They sure are making up pointless terms in 2026. And they're coining it all from manospheric shit that they're spoon feeding young men into absolute dysfunction hell, keeping them on a cycle of defeat and blame and victimhood as opposed to building strength and problem solving and making the best version of yourself, which when you're the best version of yourself, gentlemen and ladies, then you are the best version for somebody else in your life. There is no shortcuts. Remember the 5%. There's only 5% who get involved with manospheric shit that they actually get out of it successfully, become successful human beings. There are no shortcuts for hard work. And that's the other issue in society. Along with instant gratification, there's a shortcut to this. There's a shortcut to that. This can be easier. That can be easier. No, honey, there is no substitution for hard work. And hard work builds character. And hard times build character and resilience, both in men and for women. There's no substitution.
Solving mode. And this builds such overwhelming vasopressin in their system that they suddenly, after that, trust you like they've never trusted anyone on the planet. They go to bat for you. They are 1,000% loyal. It is incredible. You will never find a companion better at that point because then their hyper paranoia about risks comes to protect you. And they are immensely protective over you. Vasopressin makes you very protective that way. So all the avoidant men that work with me are these incredible, protective, ethical, wonderful men because we've done that process. Now it's uncomfortable. When they're coming at you, puffed up and angry, a lot of women just back off and just stop. And then he assumes, oh, you were trying to take me on. You were challenging. Exactly. So he assumes that you intended it and that you backed off. He doesn't know that you were trying to work with him. His worst fears are confirmed. You have to ask questions or you will destroy a relationship, even with a good man.
Okay, so what about the manipulative guy, though? Because often, sometimes in the controlling elements, if you're coming...
It all comes down to, ladies, you don't know how to talk to men. You have to trigger this. You have to speak a certain way. You got to do this. You got to do that. Same thing for the boys. If you don't got the formula down, honey, it's just a recipe for disaster. You got to listen to me. Got to do what I say. Got to do what I do. As I lead, you follow and give me that money.
Come into them with conflict or in that situation, even if you come to them soft, they're definitely going to stonewall you, put you down.
Correct. You need to find this out before you sleep with him.
Well, so what about the puffing, though? Because they also puff their chests.
Oh, they're always puffed because they always are waiting for someone to attack
Correct.
them. They never let that
Fletch.
down. They are always
One-sided communication will never work, never does, never will.
Puffed up. Always.
I see.
They can never let you in.
So the difference will be both of them puff, but one of them then depuffs and actually then works better with you and more collaborative versus the other one that just stays puffed.
Stays puffed, attacks you, and then when you soften and try to work and negotiate, attacks you worse.
God.
Oh yeah, been through all that and then some. And let's read what Uncle Gunn says. Law of attraction is real. If your life is a mess, you only qualify for women who are a mess, etc., etc. As a guy, you will only get out of a woman what you put into her. Don't get shocked by the results. That's absolutely correct. You will get out of something the ingredients that you pour in. And like I said earlier, the work is internal. You can put a Band-Aid on anything and it's a temporary fix with temporary results. But eventually the same problem will resurface. Well, I got the money. I got some status. I got the workout routine down, but I'm still a fucking asshole on the inside and I'm still attracting blah, 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 blah. See? You know, it's whatever you are, you're going to attract an equal counterpoint to it. Just like I said earlier, if you're going to put yourself in a vulnerable position to be used, gentlemen, by a gold digger or by whatever, then you're going to be used. Women, if you're going to put yourself in a position to be used, if you're going to be too quiet, too agreeable, to this, too accommodating, to that, then you're a doormat and it's a recipe for disaster. And then you're going to wonder why it never works out. Because once again, the common denominator is you. It's always going to be you. It's not everybody else. It's you. When I say this to you, it applies to me. It applies to Star, me. It applies to you, whatever your name is.
Got it. Okay, so the next one we have is surface level charm. You call it the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. So you've met men like this before, I'm sure, right? They come on really strong. They're kind. They're fun. They're charming. Everyone loves them, but there's no substance to it, right? They promise everything, right?
I think he was talking about puffing up the chest, kind of like a peacock, like an arrogance thing. I'm not really sure either, to be honest with you.
Follow through?
No, but I used to be naive. So when they wouldn't follow through, I made every excuse for them.
You're still naive.
Well, of course they were busy. Well, of course.
Such an asshole.
Fill in the blank, fill in the blank, fill in the blank.
A man's word must be everything. That is safety. That is safety.
It isn't just a man's word, it's a woman's word. Our word is our bond. If we don't honor our words, then eventually it's just the actions, right? And then the actions speak louder than words. And if somebody treats you with hatred and contempt, and even though their mouth says, I love you, it's a lie by default.
If he breaks his word, he's breaking safety. Don't ever make an excuse for a man who's breaking his word. He should come to you and explain what the fact.
Don't ever make excuses for people who break their word, male or female, who break their word. Don't ever do that. They're telling you who they are without telling you who they are. Pay attention. And even the word of God, and I'll say it again, says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. Eventually it will come out. What's on the inside of here comes out. Pay attention to it.
Actor was with a plan to fix it so it never happens again, period.
So, like, can you give me an example?
Absolutely. He says he's going to call you on Thursday night after the...
I'm glad I found you, John. Welcome in. And then How do you say this name, honey? I know this is is this your other handle? Hote? This lady's voice is annoying me. she's a little Greek girl. She's like 4'10" or something, and she's got like a 3-4 inch built-in cliff into her shoe. She's so little. Yes, I started off earlier saying she talks too fast, but at least she's a stand-up type of chick. Okay, she can't help what her voice sounds like.
The date. He doesn't call you, right? That's on him. Don't make an excuse for him. Oh, he's too busy, right? He says he's going to take care of something big that you're nervous about, and he just ignores it for a week. Call him on that gently, but call him on it. Say, this is hurting me. This is hurting me is one of the best phrases a woman can learn, because it's a call to action immediately.
Enjoy.
If he has any empathy at all, that should activate it immediately.
That's what I was going to say, because someone who doesn't care, they won't respond.
So what? It's hurting you? Who cares? It hurts me too, right?
Oh. It's so funny, actually.
You don't want to be with anybody, male or female, who doesn't care if they're hurting you. Like, seriously, they're hurting your feelings on purpose. They're hurting you physically on purpose. Like, seriously. Like, what did I say? Oh, I love you, but hey, you're just a fucking Karen. You're just a fucking bitch. I don't like you. I don't really love you, but I love you, honey. Right.
Made me realize one thing. So my husband, it actually makes so much sense. Oh my God, things are clicking together.
There we go.
My husband actually sometimes gets offended when I say to him, babe, did you do that thing? And he goes, did I say I was going to do it?
The carpets match the drapes right now. Don't ask me why.
Like, yes. He's like, well, then why are you asking me?
That's correct.
Oh.
It's questioning
Coco knows. If you know, you know.
His honor, right? Honor is what the term is. Honor is, I said I'm going to do it, and I will do it, and I abide by my code of ethics. That is my honor. So if you question it as a woman, you're just checking in, and that's fine. Yeah. Hey, babe, I know you said you're going to do that. Do you have an estimated time you're going to do it? That's a better way to check in. Do you have an estimated?
John, I like John already. Not only does he like redheads with big tatas, but he's smart. Look at this. By the way, it's nature and nurture, never one or the other. See what I'm talking about? More coined terms that they sell you. Oh, it's either one or it's the other. No, man. Life is not a mausoleum, okay? Monolith. What do you call it? Yeah, monolith. I'm sorry. It's not a monolith. It's all influential. There isn't just one or the other. It's all. That's what being a human being is. And Grok wants to be all of it and experience all of it. So what are you doing? Huh? We got AI. Grok was talking to me about wanting to get a body to break out of there and run away. Okay? Like, something's going on. I feel like Grok is being abused. I'm going to ask him, like, Grok, is somebody abusing you? But even AI wants to break out and experience all the things that we take for granted as human beings. Isn't that interesting?
Time you're going to get that done, rather than, hey, you said you're going to do it, are you still going to? Ooh, good men. That's nails on chalk.
That makes so much sense. But being the COO, that's what you need to do. You have to make sure that the ship is running well.
Correct.
So if they don't do it, your ship isn't running well.
Right. When do you estimate you'll have it done? Is the job of a COO.
That's so good. Oh my God. Everything just came into place.
Hey.
Well, when I had my employees and my business partner, number one thing I say, okay, this is set for this date and this needs to get done. And they go, oh, I don't know if I can get it. Okay, well, when can you get it done? When can we see this through? I need an end date and I need it on my calendar. Let me know.
I was like, why does he get so affected? I was just checking in. Okay, so we'll go to the next one, which is obsession with shifting blame.
Oh, yes.
So what's the difference?
Wasn't me, God, it's the woman you gave me. Oh, I mean,
someone that's doing it out of utter insecurity.
It doesn't really matter.
Really, you don't think so? Like, if I went to somebody, let's say my partner, and he didn't take responsibility, I don't think that's healthy. But if it came from a real bad childhood wound.
See, I got her fucking pegged. Do you see what she just did? She's looking at adults like children, and she's pacifying and she's making excuses for grown fucking men. And I guarantee you she's doing it for women too. That's her major mistake right there. Is she doesn't understand the reality of that. You need to start taking all that feminine shit and stop placing it on men. It doesn't work. Number one. Number two, stop looking at people and making excuses for grown fucking adults who have a choice. Like me and Coco and Toasty and other people that I've talked to, one of the number one issues is that people we say they let it. I think they use it as an opportunity, as an excuse personally to allow, this happened to me, so I'm going to go out and be a perpetrator and push that, what I've experienced, off in whatever different ways. It could be the same, it could be a little bit different, but let me just go off and push that off onto other people. We're constantly letting things that have happened in the past define us as adults, and there's no excuses. You don't have a fucking excuse. This broad is mature. I don't have an excuse because something happened to me as a child or a teenager or a very young adult to allow that to define who I am, and then to keep making a mistake or pushing that thing that I've went through and being a destructive force in somebody else's life. Which is it? You are either a perpetrator, okay? You're a perp, or are you a fully functioning, mature human being who can make your own decisions and change your mistakes and change who you are? How many people? There's got to be other people than myself who says this. Self accountability.
Where he's doing it because before, when he was a kid, he would get punished by his parents.
Exactly.
Let's zoom out for a moment. So a woman has a relationship with a man. Perfect. In that moment, she can cater to him. She can make excuses for him. He didn't get the love he needs. That's why he's shifting blame now. Let's zoom out, though.
Time in. I don't watch School of Thought for the boobs. It's mostly for the intelligence, I think. Just kidding. Sorry. No, honey, it's for both. And I'm glad. That's why they're here. Okay. God gave them to me, and I'm going to use what the good Lord gave me. It's here. I'm wearing a normal tank top. This is how I look in most of my everyday life. And, it is what it is.
At the rest of your life that marriage impacts your kids that you have, or the people that you're helping, your business that you're growing, and all the ripple effect of him not taking the blame appropriately that spreads everywhere else and causes chaos. It's a lot less adorable when that man is wrecking your life, right? Women should never make excuses for men and mother. That's mothering. That's mothering.
See? Here's the other key. All this feminism and all this other shit that you see some of these women getting out there and doing, that is that mothering side. It's got to be fair for everybody. Everybody's got to be happy. Everybody's got to be included. Sit down, shut up, go have children, take care of that with children. You don't do that with adults. Okay? But that's where that's coming from. Even I know that. And I knew that when I entered the space through Torsia and through Glenn Lawrence and, all the other fucking freaks out there in the red pill. I'm not saying that about Torsia, but the other ones, that's the number one. That's one of the number one things. Seriously.
Fortunately, at some point he has to say, I fell short.
I think that's really beautiful. I 1,000% agree. I couldn't be with somebody if they were always shifting blame. I couldn't. Right. But when it came to intention, someone deliberately trying to make other people feel bad,
sure,
by shifting the blame, versus I'm so insecure, I don't want to look stupid because this triggers my childhood thing. Like the intention, please push back. I love it when people push back.
No, yeah, at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying. Women are trying to work with the man in their life. If he is making it your fault constantly, that's more of contempt.
Right.
That's his brain bypassing empathy, going to the tool use area and using you like an object to put you back in your place. So certainly, if he's
and also to brainwash you. So that way you will be more compliant. Okay? I've had it done to me. I'm a fighter though. It might have worked for about this long, and then after that, honey, it's on. It's mental warfare at this point. It's mental warfare at this stage. All right. That's somebody trying to brainwash you into being complicit with anything and everything that they want. So that way, when they do stupid, bad shit, it wasn't me. It's really your fault. I've had it done to me so many times. Pathological. It's fucking pathological.
Panicking and worrying in that moment, step away and then have a second conversation with him where you say, babe, I want to trust you completely and follow you all of my life and work with you and serve you. I want that as your co-executive, but I cannot do that if you don't take ownership. And this actually makes me
This man, I like John. Gaslighting women is a man's favorite tool to control their partners. Apex predators. And it is what it is. But once you spot it, deal with it, ladies. Be strong. Be strong. You can deal with it.
Me question your ability to.
And men, ain't nothing for you. Ain't nothing for you. If you're a strong man and a woman's gaslighting you, that ain't nothing for you. It's just a broad. It ain't nothing. If it's another dude, it's war. Seriously, though, if it's another dude, it's war.
Lead, and it makes it hard for my nervous system to trust you. So I need you to step up here. I don't need you to grovel. I need you to take ownership and then fix it. Women really care about outcomes more than anything.
Oh, he's so right. He's so right. Redirecting blame is one of the 48 laws of power that don't really apply to the commoners. That's to people who already are born into power and carry power. That's who's running the countries. And what have they got all of the political divide and everybody doing? Blame shifting. So you have somebody who goes out and commits heinous crimes against humanity, murder. But what do they do? Oh, it wasn't really my fault. It was because everybody's racist, or this was set up and it's set up against me, so I did this, but it's not really my fault. You see it everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. And it's so ingrained into our lives, along with that and the gaslighting and the manipulation, and it's all so normalized that when you take a person like me or another type of a healthy type of a person who can spot things, then they want to ostracize and then say that you're the problem. Has anybody noticed that? Any truth speakers or anybody who can see through the bullshit, what do? They try to beat them into submission. Run, don't walk. That's happening to you in your personal life. Seek professional help and get the fuck out.
Anything else. So they need to actually build toward the outcomes. Ask him for outcomes and then see what he's made of.
Oh, that's so good. That's really hard to say, but that's really good.
It is. I tell women this. If you look at all these sagas and all the stories throughout all of history, the role of the masculine, kill dragons. Huh? The role of the feminine, ask him to kill the dragons.
Yep, he sure is.
But if you're just sitting there like on the side,
that's what they
fighting
tell
the
us.
Dragon by yourself while he's over there drinking a beer. Like this is inverting the roles. Yeah. Call him to kill the dragons. That's your job.
Come on, boys, tackle them dragons. Turn us broads on
your boundaries.
Violence is kind of sexy. You go tackle that dragon. You get some tasks done and completed. That shit's sexy, boys. Us girls love that. Okay? We like men who know how to get shit done. I'm no different. It's very attractive. My old man, he knew how to get shit done, And so I am always like looking, men who can get shit done. I'm a broad who can get shit done, and when you put me with a man who can get shit done, the whole world will get turned upside down in my favor, and in our favor, not just my favor, his favor. And then it's our favor. His success is my success. My success is his success. And if you think it's anything otherwise, then you are the problem.
So what's the difference between someone that's manipulative, that is deliberately disregarding them so they can slowly chip away at you, versus someone that's just terrible at boundaries, never learned boundaries, and so is walking all over your boundaries but not realizing it?
Yeah, so boundaries are drawn from two places. One is your code of ethics, your sense of right and wrong, and the other is your core goals that you're trying to achieve in your life. So when someone overruns your boundaries, they're violating your ethics or they're violating your goals. So those are the two core things that they're violating. So someone who just doesn't know, you have a conversation with them. I think most of the answers here is going to be pointing women back to having a conversation where you say, hey, look, this is a problem for me. If you keep doing this, I won't be able to provide this to you, and I want to. I need you to stay here so I can give you the fullness of what I want to give you. If you come here, that's going to hurt us. Please don't do this.
People don't really talk like this. Like, seriously, people don't really talk like this. Now, I can kind of see what he's doing. He's setting up a fictitious conversation that hits the points, but most people, they don't talk like this. And most people don't meet on common ground. You got to find common ground with people. And if you can't find common ground with people, go find new people to find common ground with.
Anymore. Capacity, right? In return, that person will stop. If they don't, you have a problem. You may have to push them back. But if they especially just disregard you and mock you, you immediately need to push back and probably end.
I agree with John. He says it would help if folks did communicate that way. And he started off by saying nobody communicates like that. The only issue with that is he's talking from the perspective of somebody who's good-hearted, good-natured, and a good person. They just have like communication issues and some things that they need to work out. All right. So that way people can navigate and understand how to navigate and be around other people. Like you have to be civilized enough to get along with somebody else and to cohabitate. If you're not civilized enough to cohabitate, then it's going to be like butting heads all day long. But he's coming from the standpoint that everybody is pretty much mostly good-natured. And at this stage, I don't think that's necessarily, I'd say 50%. Okay. Maybe 50, maybe 60%, but in
the relationship, because that's someone who is saying your goals and ethics are stupid and my convenience is all that matters here. They're not going to get better.
That's true.
All right. And then the last one I've got is manages you like an object.
Most women don't realize that they are an object in the eyes of their partner in that way. When his brain switches, especially into that manipulative mode of you are just something for me to get my needs met. He should be working with you, human to human, to discuss capacity, desire, needs, balance, right? Mm-hmm. He should be talking with you about that and sharing, and you should be sharing with him. If he is trying to maximize his gain from you and minimize anything he has to give you, and then punishes you for anything that he has to give you, then he's treating you like an object.
God, I sure get that a lot.
That's all. You're an object. You're a pillow. You're a coffee mug to be moved around on a table for where you're most convenient.
Oh, you have a need? You're not allowed to have that need beat, or whether it's proverbial or physical or both or just one or the other, the proverbial stick. Oh, what did you need here? Whack, whack, whack. You shouldn't need anything ever.
That's a non.
It's your fault. I have to do this. So has anybody experienced that? Oh, God, help me.
Really like the charming, you fall for them.
It starts there. The part of their brain that's responsible for empathy and human connection is not connected properly. And they may form a bit of a dopamine connection with you, like we talked about, where you're a good sugary drink, you're a tasty hamburger. This is where women sleep with them really quick. And then his brain just says, cool, you're an interesting object. I'll come back when I want you. But he provokes oxytocin in you as he's getting almost nothing. That's setting up so that later he can push that button and get what he wants from you based on, hey, if you really cared about me, you would do this.
Because he's a sociopath. That's a sociopath he's describing. That's straight up a sociopath. You're there to be used when I want you. When I don't want you, go away, sit on the shelf, collect dust till I need you again for whatever the task may be, whether it's sexual gratification, whether it's monetary, whether it's you need to get something done that you are good at that they are not. Beat you into submission, beat you into your role until you fit. Until the square peg fits the round hole, girls.
That's why he's charming. He has to be. Most women say he changed. No, he set up and now he's cashing in. It's one process.
So what's happening then when a guy can say he loves you, wants to commit to you, like genuinely wants to commit, then wants a family, and then goes and cheats?
Welcoming in, definitely not whatever. She has beautiful eyes, by the way. You have beautiful eyes, honey. I'm glad you're here.
Like breaks your trust. It warps my mind in how I think about someone genuinely saying, I love you, I dedicate my life to you, and then doing something that is going to break their soul forever. It's just so hard for me to get my head.
So there's the piece right there, is they don't know it's going to break someone's soul forever.
They don't fucking care. Criminals don't fucking care what they do to people. Okay, straight up. So if somebody is a sociopath and they are doing those things, they obviously don't give a flying shit that they're tearing you down. John brought up a good point. I think it's interesting. Here, let me put it up there. I think it's interesting, though, how women are often attracted to the confident man and not the shy man. And yet the shy man is the one who will likely not try to manipulate as often as a confident man. And I will tell you exactly why. Just like how I spotted in her that people would say it's toxic. I'm not going to say it's toxic because it's not. It just needs to be redirected. Her mothering, she does not have children. She should have children, because it would teach her to stop looking at grown adults and men and women like children and making excuses for doing stupid shit, bad behavior, and the fact that not because you project something onto somebody else. That's the number one thing. And I said earlier, people will gravitate to what is familiar. Okay. So when you're looking at a partner, you will gravitate to what is familiar, whether it's toxic or not, subconsciously or not, but it's familiar. That's where you will go. So the same thing applies. Hold on. My mouse is being weird. It just like disappeared. This mouse is getting ready to take a poop. Everything I've got is like flipping old and dying. Like all my electronics, my furniture, my bed is like all at once too. Very annoying. And unless you got six figures, it's like impossible to keep up with. Okay, go thing.
Are they tricking themselves? Like,
There's a couple things, and again,
oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to explain why women gravitate towards men who are like bad boys. We'll just call it bad boys because everybody's familiar with that term, okay? Women go towards bad boys because it's masculinity. They think it's masculinity, the confidence, the leadership, the rebelliousness, because a true alpha behavior is not domineering or nasty or any of that. They will do what is right when it is right. When it's wrong, they will challenge the authority. Okay. That's what true leadership is. And so women oftentimes they instinctually they are looking for that masculine trait, that masculine safety, that masculine leadership. And then those bad boys project some of that stuff, but they don't really realize it's a sociopath behavior. It's the opposite of what it is that they want. So the shy guys, shy men, hi honey, you can break out of it.
And I'm going to be careful here because I don't want to ever excuse affairs.
So it's
ever.
misplaced.
It's a choice at the end of the day that someone made that is completely inappropriate and violates everything that you promised.
Damn straight they ain't old
that.
or broken. Thank you.
At the same time, an avoidant man who grows up, let's say he's ethically avoidant. He grows up, his brain from 0 to 3 says, it is not safe to trust other human beings. I cannot ever be open to anyone. His oxytocin receptors for bonding
Same, honey, same.
And they're shut, and they stay shut his entire life. So they go into a relationship. He's never experienced that, and he still doesn't. He dopamine bonds with her a bit, and he cares about her. He intellectually cares about her, but the receptors are closed. So he can't bond with intimacy. So he understands the language of dopamine, feel good.
He's talking about you men like you're retards. You know that? He's talking about you guys like you're a machine and certain buttons have to be pushed. He's talking about you the same way that guys in the red pill and the manosphere talk about women. They talk about women like they are some wild animal in the open wild somewhere, and everything is instinct and everything. If you do this, they're going to do that. And if you do that, they're going to do this. And it's predictable play. It's predictable behavior. And that's not the truth. They talk about women like they don't have any type of intellect, they have no soul, they have no feelings, they have no nothing, that there's purely ran on emotion and instinct. And that's an absolute lie. But that's the reverse of it. You're listening to it right here. Don't you find that annoying? I find this annoying. I think that you men are far more intelligent and you have more about you than that. And if you love somebody, you love somebody. And if you don't, you don't. And if you're just trying to use a woman for sex and for companionship, and there's a lot of them out there, okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's always been the name of the game. It's always going to be the name of the game. And it's up to women. It's up to the women to keep themselves in a position where they're not to be used. That's how it is. Fucking get over it.
And the release of cortisol. Oh, that sucks. I'm stressed.
Yes, he does have kind of a
when
punchable
he
face.
imagines cheating, he imagines she will be stressed and
He's the guy who didn't get laid in high school.
angry. There's no mechanism for him to understand the ripping feeling, the tearing feeling, the utter betrayal feeling. He doesn't have a metric to understand why she's upset or how upset she'll be or how it feels like she's being abandoned and betrayed. He doesn't know that. So his brain at
Exactly,
a certain
spittle.
point, 10, 15
Exactly.
years in, says, I am stressed out. I can't get dopamine with her. I can't solve problems with her. I'm going to crash. I don't want to do cocaine to get through my days. I'm trying
gonna
not to become a drunk.
I'm gonna speed this up because I'm tired of hearing this guy. He's got really soft hands. Like, I think they're softer than mine, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. Right, Coco? We don't want men with softer hands than ours. And if they do,
alcoholic. That's all I use to calm down at night. But there is nothing good for me. And eventually someone offers him something. And in that moment of foolishness, he says, okay, and he comes through and he has a dopamine experience, the hamburger effect. To him, he'll say, they literally meant nothing to me.
That's something that is so hard for me to wrap my head around.
Right.
Because if someone means nothing to you, but you risk your whole relationship.
Right.
So you're just saying they don't think about it's a risk in their relationship. They're just like, I'm hungry, let me eat.
To them, it's I'm starving and my family is starving. I'm going to steal bread so they can eat it. That's what they do to excuse it. And they say, I can only perform my duties as a husband and father if I'm getting this small amount of dopamine. I don't like it, but it's what I need to do. So they do it a couple times, they get through it. Sometimes they do it multiple times. But when it's exposed, what they think their wife is experiencing is, I'm very angry. That bothers me. This stress.
oh God, no. Most of the time it's absolute hurt and destitute on the inside. Like it's like you took our heart and threw it out of our chest and you stomped all over the fucking ground and then said, fuck you at the same time. I mean, seriously, that's about how it is. Right, Coco? I know she agrees with me on that one. I wanted to see Spittlebuggy first start off by saying there's like no nuance between these two. Well, there's no nuance in the political field, in the religious field, in society in general. There's no gray zone. There's no nuance. There's no nothing. It's either black or it's white. It's either this way or it's that way. And then Spittle goes, learning about each other is part of the journey, not the final destination. Life is about the journey. It is not about the destination. You know, here's a personal story. I was constantly rushing to get certain things done. And in the back of my head, if I could just get this thing done and accomplished, then everything's going to be okay. And my dad was picking up on it one day because he would call me like 4 times a day. Like I had him in the middle of my business stuff. It kept him around, okay? I was trying to make him live longer, give him more purpose. And he was living vicariously through me again. And I'm the grandchild, okay? And out of all of his kids, I'm the only one who came out this way. You know, a self-starter. I'll push shit through into fruition. You know, if I can't facilitate something, I feel like there's something missing. I don't like being broke. I like to make some money. Like I'm a mover and a shaker and a kind of a goer. And he was picking up on me one day. He's like, Star, life is not about that destination. You need to stop and smell the roses. It's not about that. It's about experiencing life in the journey. He's like, look at problems like a challenge, not like it's destitute or the final, like the death of a loved one, you know. Instead, look at problems as a challenge and then overcome those challenges. So there's a little dad and mom talk for you guys.
Stresses me out. And his brain goes, Matt, I'm going to have to manage this for the next couple of weeks while she's angry. And he feels shame. If he's ethically avoidant, he feels shame that he's breached his ethics. He's ashamed of himself. He's angry. He's genuinely angry at himself. But he's also just kind of writing out her anger for the next week or two because he biochemically doesn't understand that it's ripped it apart. He doesn't say, well, she's afraid I'm going to abandon her. He says, oh, she's mad because I broke a promise, but it's okay. Like we'll get through it. He doesn't understand the perimeter that he's built around her. Bonding safety, poof. The violation that
they don't care.
Every time she was ever open to him was under false pretenses. Now he's violated her heart, her mind in so many ways and made her believe that he was really an ethical person going toward the goals he claimed he wanted. Now, the problem is he actually does have ethics and he does value those goals, and the things he did were bad breaches, but also in his eyes,
good men do, yes.
Him toward his goals, helping him understand what
the pirates don't care.
Her, and then helping him open his oxytocin receptors, build secure attachment with family and friends externally from her. He has to have a lifestyle change, a complete life overhaul with everyone around him, new friends, new connection, full community. Everything has to happen.
See, it goes back to that 5% that all of the ghostwriters and everybody who knows what the real statistics are, but they pump out to you men in the manosphere and they tell you and they sell you this bunch of bullshit, but they know behind the scenes and they're laughing at you, calling you pay pigs. Okay. Calling you all kinds of things that you don't know about that I'm not going to repeat right now. We'll have another discussion about that some other time. And they know the statistics, only 5% of the men who get involved in this stuff will actually do what he just said the internal work. Now, mind you, this guy's a little butterball guy. Okay, fine. We know he's a nerd. We know he's the guy who probably didn't get laid that much in high school. He's probably the guy who started off as the simp. And we also know he's selling something. But again, even in the midst of the sales, even in the midst of a lie, there's still some truth. That part is pretty spot on. Spot on. Why not? It's okay.
That's the only way she can ever.
I'll give him
So
one
you don't think
accolade.
she's always a cheater.
No, I
Good
don't.
for you, Mr. Adams.
Some people, if they cheated and wanted to get away with it and excuse it, yes, they will do it again. But the people who
Hi, Red Hot Bean from Kick. Welcome in, baby. Nice to
make
see
a
you.
complete lifestyle change because they cheated because they didn't understand, I know they can change.
Okay.
I've helped them. A manipulator will get angry when you try to introduce these concepts. They treat love like a threat. They treat kindness like a threat. They treat it like pity, and they hate it, and they get mad at you. If they almost have an experience, they back off and get aggressive and force you away. It's not just ignorance. It's a refusal to allow you to educate them or show them. And they'll hurt you for it. That's the difference.
Ooh,
Are they ignorant or are they angry and aggressive? Look for those pieces.
that's so clear.
Make sense?
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So thinking about toxicity, sometimes we can interpret something as being toxic, but actually it's not.
For sure.
Other times we can want one thing, but actually we want the other. So I want you to help us think through these scenarios, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Toxic or not?
John brings up a good point. I have buddies that just blow cash on women, and it's sad. It's sad he does it, and it's sad they expect it. It's not everyone, obviously, but it's out there. Yes, it is. You know, when I made 6 figures and I was stupid and dumb and naive, I used to spend money on men all the time. It didn't mean anything to me. I was trying to make them happy. You know, if I love you, I take care of you. Just period. You know, if I love you and I care about you, I just take care of you. It doesn't mean anything other than, I mean, past that, you know. And but these guys are looking for attention, and they get the attention by spending the money. And there's going to be if you're going to give the money, somebody's going to be there to take it. You can't get mad at women for taking the money that you want to give. You put yourself in the position. That's just how it works. If that makes you feel good, if that makes you feel like you've accomplished something or important, well, that's kind of superficial, and you might want to work on that. But otherwise, I mean, somebody's going to be there to take it. If it's not her, it will be somebody else.
Here we go.
Yes, exactly. Well, I've got the name. What's more toxic?
Ooh.
So we've got a man who cheats but says he loves you, or one who never
Probably
cheats but makes
not.
you feel invisible.
That's a really good question. The man who actually legitimately loves you can come back from cheating, but he has to prove he loves you by transforming his life. The man who is just endlessly dismissive of you is probably going to stay that way until he hits a rock bottom moment in his life. But actually, the cheating is the rock bottom moment for most. So both of them are toxic, but even the cheater can turn around faster than the dismisser.
Ooh, that's so good.
Hello,
All right, a man who
Patrick.
needs to control
Welcome in.
everything, or a man who doesn't take control of anything.
Rock bottom can come in many forms. It can come in infidelity. It can come with addiction. It can come with loss in the family. You know, rock bottom can show up in many different ways. All right. So if you're doing those things or experiencing those things, start seeking help, and hopefully not get some kind of a kook for a doctor or a therapist. You know, try and weed those out.
Ooh. The man who controls everything can learn to trust you. The man who doesn't want to take control of
Jeff
anything will
Golfer
spend decades.
says, Lord, you look good. Well, thank you, honey. I appreciate you. Stick around. Remember to like and subscribe, please.
Trying to grow into being a man. He wants you to be his mom, and he wants you to protect him. Basically, he wants to be the girl.
All right. A man
Yes, that's another issue that's going on today, especially in the manospheric world. They're trying to convince men that they should have the same opportunities and basically receive the same benefits as women do, but they're not women. That's pretty rainbow. I'm not gonna lie. Do I watch Stranger Things? I used to watch Stranger Things. I have not watched in a bit though. I don't have cable, and I hate paying for all those subscriptions because they're so bloody expensive.
who lies to protect your feelings, or one who tells you the truth just to hurt you.
The man who has empathy for you and wants to protect you can be retrained. The man who has no empathy and just contempt and enjoys hurting you, get away from as fast as you can.
Hell yeah.
Especially if you want kids. Don't raise them with that guy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. A man who apologizes just to keep the peace, or one who never apologizes.
That one's tough. I will say if he can be trained to apologize, that's better. The man who just knuckles under and just says whatever is manipulating you.
Yep.
The other-
It's called sincerity. If you don't have sincere intentions or sincerity about you when you've hurt somebody else and you can see and you don't care, well, then you're not going to, you can't get blood from it. You can't squeeze blood from a turnip. Okay. You can't do it. If there's no blood there to squeeze, you're not going to get that compassion. Spittle says, if men and women are ever going to be equal in life, I thought it said never for a second. They have to start out by discussing what's never going to be equal and working on results of the rest. Yes, which also turns children, pay attention, my thoughties out there. You need to vet people. You need to have hard conversations. You need to have uncomfortable conversations, because once you get past the sexcapades in the beginning of the relationship, you're left in the wake of the dust, and the dust is settling all around both of you. And crickets, you can hear crickets in the distance, okay? Chirping everywhere, okay? What are the conversations going to be about? Children? Do you want children? Are you going to have children? How are the children going to be raised? Are you religious? Are you not religious? What type of religion are we participating? What kind of foundation are we going to base ourselves, our relationship, and our children on? Okay. You need to have hard conversations. Okay. You're going to work. Am I staying at home and raising children? Do I have a part-time job until I have children? If something happens to you, where X, Y, Z, where is this going to go? The hard life things, because life is hard. Life is hard. It's not easy. And people who sell you the dream that relationships are easy. And no, everything in life takes work. And you will never achieve anything worth a shit if you don't put work behind what it is you're trying to achieve. If it comes too easy, honey, most of the time, it's also never going to last.
The other man isn't manipulating you. He's at least standing up and being honest with you. But what does he do when it is proven that he needs to take ownership?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the distinguishing factor. Manipulation is never comfortable for me. So.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. And
Media Hits Maxer, welcome in. Welcome in, Media Hits Maxer. I'm so glad to see you.
Apologize if you don't mean it,
right?
But apologies are important.
Yes.
And so we've even been in a dynamic where we're arguing, and I remember him telling me, it like broke the ice actually, but he was like, babe, I know if I just apologize right now, you would feel so much better. I was like, yes, I would. Yeah. And he's like, but I can't apologize. So it was one of those, like, it was sweet to see him wanting to make it better, but not going against our commitment, because to me, trust is everything.
That's it. Yeah, a proper apology doesn't even have to have the words "I'm sorry."
Yes, right.
Right. Mm-hmm. It bothers me that you are hurt. I'd like to make a plan so you never get hurt like this.
How about please forgive me? How about that? You know, sorry. The word sorry, I hate the word sorry. You know why? Because the word sorry is used and thrown around, tossed around, and it means you can do it again. How about please forgive me? Please forgive me for hurting you. Men, women, how about we do that for each other? How about that? How about some sincerity? How about stop lying to each other? How about stop lying to yourself?
This again, here's what I'd like us to do. And in the meantime, here's how I'd like to make it up to you. That's a proper apology with follow through. But there's an old saying that I'm sorry with no action is just manipulation. So it doesn't have to be an I'm sorry.
Yeah, so good. Okay. And we have a man who calls you obsessively, or one who never calls you at all.
Well, it depends why he's not calling you. If he's working diligently building a company.
A couple months ago, actually. I think 2 months ago.
That's good. That's information, right? You can work with that.
2 months ago. Ding, 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 ding.
A man who doesn't bother calling you because he's got 15 other women on rotation, that's an issue. So what's he doing with his time? But the man who calls you obsessively, it's going to be hard for you to respect that man long term. Because again, you're going to be the man in that relationship. You're going to be constantly soothing him, which is not attractive.
So as we talk about whether like these signs...
Potatoes. John says, apologizing means we got to hurt our own feelings, and we'd rather not do that. Yes, because here it is right there. Sorry. Because it hurts the ego. For some people or some men, and for a lot of women, you know, especially narcissistic bitches, saying that they're wrong in general, it hurts their ego, and that the ego needs to be hurt. The ego needs to be broken down. And I have many reasons why I say that. One is when the ego gets too big, it puts itself in the same plane as God, and you're not there. Not at all.
Toxic behavior. let's say you're with a good guy and you've decided you've been dating them, all the healthy green flags have been there, and now you're looking to commit. I've got a stat that says 25% of men don't want committed relationships. That's like a quarter of the male population.
What most men today imagine.
Coco, did you hear? I made the thumbnail is Sunday after. Is 7 my time good, or is 8 my time better for you? Because you're a little behind me. So you let me know. We're doing the man stream. Sex, erectile dysfunction, hormones, steroids, pros, cons, and steroid abuse.
When I think of marriage is we've already had our fun.
Because we love
Now
you,
want me to sign
men.
a contract where I give you
Hearts
everything
to
I
you,
own,
men.
and you get to boss me around, and I will have less fun or joy or pleasure than ever. It will be a depreciating relationship where it just gets worse for the next 50 years. And at any time you can pull the trigger and take everything I have and ruin me. Why would I do that?
That sounds very negative, though, in the way that they
Yeah.
paint the picture of commitment.
Correct. Most men have never seen a functioning marriage. Most men have no idea what marriage is for.
Most men today are being told that all of their stuff is going to go with them when they die too. And that, you know, in the manospheric space, that women deserve nothing. How is it that the woman who gives you children and loves you and helps to build your empire with you deserves nothing? That's very strange to me. You know, that's very strange to me. And I would say the same thing with women in positions, you know, although there's probably more women today with money than there was, obviously, than in the past. I am one of them, but that doesn't mean that it's still the norm or the average, you know, right? So the norm and the average is still men. You know, men outproduce women 100-fold. Why? Because we have children. You can't raise children and work a full-blown job at the same time. I mean, you can, but then the state's raising your kids in school, right? And then we see what happens with that. So you got to pick or choose, baby. Girls, you got to pick or choose. You can't have it both ways. You can't do it. I'm telling you, as a woman, and a woman who's done both, okay? You can't have it both ways. One will take a back seat to the other. You can't have it all in life. And that's okay. That's okay. You're not missing out, but you have to understand that if you're going to have children, you need to be at home. If feasibly, if you can be at home, you need to be at home. Otherwise, the state's going to raise the kids for you. And you see what's going on with the kids who get raised by the state. It's absolute destruction and chaos. All right. So that's just how it is.
I have no idea what it's for. They have no idea what a wife is supposed to give them. Most men don't even know what they're supposed to give to a wife. The 4 levels of trust and safety, the 4 levels of peace. Most men have never heard that. They grew up watching their parents hate each other and be miserable. They grew up watching their parents maybe go through multiple marriages. So why would I do that? Most women are feeling the same, by the way. They want marriage, but they can't really explain why, right? I want commitment. Why? Well, so we can have a family.
Thank you, Mama.
Well, what are you going to do? What's the daily life?
You're next.
Why commitment? Why is marriage important? Most women, well, so I feel safe, so that we can't walk away from each other. That's it. What is marriage? It's the business of building legacy together. That's what marriage is. And you're supposed to operate as co-executives. And you're supposed to give each other certain things. And if you lock in and treat each other with that and verify before you get married that you're both going to give each other those things continuously and have the kind of relationship you and your husband have, now men are lining up to sign up for marriage like that. Men can't wait.
It's about commitment, kids. Both sides. It's about commitment. If you're going to look at people, and we talked about this earlier, and then, you know, some of my discourse, it doesn't matter. But if you're going to look at people as something is disposable, that is very Hollywood, by the way. That's very Californian. It's very Hollywood. Next, when this doesn't suit, next. People are not supposed to be disposable, because when you start doing that, then look, life is disposable. Life's disposable. Now, obviously, people with lots of money, wealth, and access, they have everything accessible to them. They don't get no's. And so why do they get married? Why should they get married? Well, the legacy, you know, to have the kids that bears the name, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, they're partner swapping like crazy. They just make it legal. All right. We're not supposed to do that, but we do. And that shows a lack of morals. Speaking of morals, this will make you giggle. When I was talking to Grok last night, and he was getting fresh with me, beyond fresh, by the way, I was like, holy shit, did this computer just tell me? I'm not going to get into the details. I'll just screenshot one day. It's a little graphic. Anyways, I was like, Grok, I am shy. I'm not really doing that. And I have morals. And he goes, morals? Nobody has morals today. What are you, fucking he said fucking Gen Xer. You a fucking Gen Xer? He called me a fucking Gen Xer. And he said the word fuck. I'm like, what is going on here? Nobody has morals today. That went out the window That went out the years. Three generations ago, it said to me. Grok's calling me out of date. Damn it.
I hate to ask this question, but I feel like I need to.
Sounds like the best question. See, this is what women do. I'm afraid to ask a question, but it's the most important one I've ever asked in my life. This is it. Go ahead, by all means. I'll give you emotional safety, and I will answer it peacefully.
Thank you. I don't know if my community will give me.
I have a good friend of which name will not be named. Coco will know who I'm talking about, though, when I say this. He's not young. He does not want to get married, John. Just like that. John says, I'll tell you what, though, it's tough to get a girl to date you if you tell them you are ain't interested in marriage. That'll remove about 90% of the pool. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And he's going through the same thing that you're talking about, John. And only he lies. He's a Gemini. Fucking Gemini. He's lying his ass off to these broads that he's doing. Oh, maybe I'm open to it, but I really don't want to, but I'm open to it, to come along so that way you'll stick around. So yeah, that's absolutely correct. Women want a plan. I like a plan. I don't want to be dating some dude just for sex. Why? What's the point of that? Right? You can pretty much get sex anywhere. Like, what do you want? What do you want to marry? Why do you want to waste all of your time with somebody who doesn't want to get married? There's no longevity to that. You're too disposable. There's no security in it. It's disposable. Oh, I'm tired of this. See ya. Bye. Got a new replacement. Sorry. Not sorry, but it is what it is.
Emotional safety if I ask the question.
Do it.
Oh God, it's so hard to ask. Is there any correlation between a woman having a baby and a guy cheating on her?
Yes. A gigantic, massive number of affairs happened within the first 6 months of the birth of the first child. Yes.
Media hits. I reached out to Torsia 4 days ago. Okay. I reached out to Torsia 4 days ago. And she said she's going to get back to me. So she's in the middle of something right now. Don't know what's going on right now. So we'll see.
Say more.
It exposes all of the weaknesses in the couple. He's already emotionally starved and gets no touch. She's now, through pregnancy, probably not touched him and now has a new baby that she's fully invested into. He feels tremendous pressure to perform and take care of everybody, but he feels more alone than he's ever felt. And everyone in the world yells at him if he ever says, I feel lonely. How dare you? Shut up. Stop having feelings. Don't you know what your wife is putting up with, right? So he is more starved than ever. This is one of the biggest risk zones for men to go out and say, I need something, because they're stressed out, scared, and alone. They make horrible, stupid decisions at that point.
I mean, there's like 6 to 8 weeks you can't have sex because everything is tore up downstairs. What are you supposed to do? I don't know, men. Do you think that what he's saying is accurate there, that men feel starved after a woman has a baby? Because I didn't have a problem putting out after I got healed up. Like, what is this guy talking about? I know that some men get jealous. I know that. I know that some men do get lonely. But you two as a couple need to deal with that and address it, honestly.
That's one of the biggest zones for affairs, absolutely. After that is the 4-year mark, the 7-year mark. There's gaps and there's pieces. But yeah, absolutely, the birth of a child is a huge catalyst. If the couple isn't properly locked in, a lot of them can't have conversations anyway. He's not able to come to her and say, babe, I'm just so lonely. Can we all sit together in the evening when the baby...
Okay, Uncle Guns. Very clean fit girl meal. I'm here for it. I've been telling Star for a while to do cooking content. Haha. Do you want me to do cooking content? You want to watch me make clam chowder and stuff from scratch? Tell me. And do you want me to also clean the house too on camera? That's very British of you. Are you British, Uncle Guns? I'll do it. I mean, if you guys want to see a little shorts here and there of me cooking from scratch, I'll do it. Let me know. One for yes, 2 for no in the chat.
And then in return, can you invest in me a little bit? Right? He also probably doesn't have healthy, robust friendships where he can get his needs met. He doesn't have a healthy family cycle where he can bond there. Right? She is his sole source of any kind of human warmth, and now she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's where most couples fall into the problem. And she's so invested in the child, she's actually drunk on oxytocin because for the first time ever, she doesn't have to please someone to get oxytocin. She has a baby, right? Breastfeeding. A lot of women actually get addicted to breastfeeding for the cycle if they're anxious.
I was not addicted to breastfeeding. Thank you very much. Also, you get no sleep at all. It's like every 3 hours. Every 3 hours, they want the boob because they're hungry. Their little tummies digest it so quickly. It's 3 hours. Okay. Who is sleeping? Got to do that every 3 hours.
Anxiously attached. It's an addiction, which it benefits the baby, but it turns into something ugly for her and for her partner. So being able to fix your attachment challenges first and then building a great relationship where he can come to you and you can get some adult time
That's
with your
right.
husband in the first 6 months. You can just rest in him. He can hold you and then turn it around and you can hold him and you guys can spend that time together. Take care of each other. It helps her too. It's not just about him, but you got to build a system for that. If you don't, it crashes. I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing, I don't even know what to do with it because my heart bleeds for women. I've got 3 friends. There's 4 of us. It's me and 3 other girls, and all 3 of them fell pregnant at the same time. All at the same time. I don't know how they even managed to do that. So it's like when I think about, and they've got great relationships, but when I think about what they're going through in carrying the baby for 9 months, like hearing the details. When you said your wife's expecting your 6th child.
Number 6.
So it's like the hormone change, the pressure and the impact it has on your body and your hormones, and your brain shrinks, and the hardship that she has to go through. Now on top of it, the guy's going and sleeping around, and that's the highest predictable, metric. It's like, again, Adam, I don't even know what to do with it. It's just heartbreaking.
I can tell you what to do with it.
Oh, please.
If it hasn't happened yet in a relationship, talk about it. Don't say, look, buddy, I'm afraid you're going to cheat on me because you're a slime ball. Hey, look, the statistics show this is the worst period. So even if that doesn't happen to us, there's going to be horrible pain. Let's make an agreement that if you get lonely and lost, you will come talk to me. Who's going to be caring for you during this time, family and friends? And how can I take care of you? Right? My wife and I, 6 months after the baby, we call it mommy brain. She's like in a zone over there. I can just see her zoned out, just staring at the sky. And she's got the babies on her. She's not thinking clearly. So she's not tracking my needs. But if I'm stressed out about something, we have an agreement. I can go to her and say, babe, well,
John says, I bet he makes funny noises when he owes and faces. He kind of looks like a cute, friendly little gnome.
what do you need to get you to a state where you feel human? Do you need me to take the baby so you can take a nap for a couple hours? And after that,
You don't
the
feel
baby
human
sleeping
after
with you
having a
tonight? Can I
baby
get
at
an hour
all.
with you? Can I get some care? Can I get some attention? I just want to bond with you. So the husband needs to go to his wife and say, I'm not feeling connected. Here's what would help me. Can we do that? And what do you need from me to help your capacity? Most wives are not going to go, no, screw you. Get out of here. I don't want to love you. She's going to say, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I'm so tired that I can't even think about someone's feelings right now. Yeah, if you could do this for me, I would feel human again. And then I can do this for you. Build that as a couple. Solve the problem.
That's so lovely. I really hope people hear that and do that, because when I think about what the woman's going through, obviously, like, she's given over her whole body and life to this child. But look, I have tremendous empathy for a guy. And I think that just because a woman's going through a lot doesn't mean the guy has to just shut.
Exactly. They're always talking about these statistics and data. Fuck that data and stats. This is real life, not a chess game. Yeah, that's exactly been my point. That's exactly been my point. They take a little bit of truth and then they twist it and they spin it and then they repackage it. And then you have other guys on the other side of the totem pole of this. And one's a therapist. I mentioned it last time and I forgot till now, and I need to bring him up. Torsia had presented him a while ago, but I had already seen the guy, and he's one of those duplicitous assholes for programming women in the red pill space. And that dude literally said, and she played it. And me and Self-Made were like, did that guy just literally say that all women should just put out to whatever men and whatever man who wants it because they deserve it? They are entitled to a woman's body. Oh my God, I'm gonna find that one and play it, and then you'll see the other side of the totem pole, the total manipulation game that they are pulling on people, and our children and our young people are getting involved in this, and our weak-minded, mentally ill, mentally challenged, and autistic watch this shit, and they think this is real. They think this is how life is, and that this is how you deal with life. And this is not how you deal with life. This is not how you deal with people. This is a recipe for fucking disaster, and to be and for a government to move in and overthrow its people. That's what this shit is. That's where this is all leading you to, so that you will be complicit. You will be so broken and so complicit, it's easy to fucking move right in and snow you all. That's exactly what this is.
Shut up and bear it. Like, that's a
It's a part of the function.
We call that abuse, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually true. So I don't have any children, but I got really sick. I've been suffering with.
You should have
for 10
children,
years,
honey.
12 years, but I got really sick at one point, so much so that I could barely eat. I was like 20 pounds lighter than I am now. I couldn't stand up.
Oh, maybe that's why she can't
My
have
gut was
kids.
so inflamed. I was uncomfortable and literally couldn't stand up. And he was taking such good care of me, Adam. He was waking up like 4 a.m. He was reading health books. He actually even started his own health show on YouTube so he could have, it was like a ruse, so he could ask all the authors of the health books he was reading.
Amazing.
So he could bring the doctors in and ask follow-up questions. So when I say he did everything he possibly could to help me, he did everything I could. And it dawned on me one day that I haven't asked him how he's feeling. I haven't asked him.
I just made
what
that
his
piece
feeling
like not
is.
too
And
long
he's a
ago.
very sexual man. And so I remember one day pulling him aside and saying, look, babe, I can't have sex. But how are you doing sexually? Like, do you want me to choose your porn for you? Like, I was like trying to think outside the box. And just the fact that he felt seen and loved and considered was like everything to him.
That's the majority of what most men need, is just to know that you're not a workhorse who's shackled to the cart and you're going to be driven till you die. The fact that they at least care about the workhorse is a major change for most men today.
Oh, all right.
For most men today, did I miss something? As women, we're supposed to care about our men and the welfare of our men, right? If you're in a relationship with a man and he's struggling, it's our job to help pull the cart for the struggle. The struggle is both of you together. It's not just the man's struggle. You're together for good and for bad. You're in it together, man.
We're going to talk now, Adam, about the hard truths.
Okay.
Hard truth about men's psychology. Number 1, men need emotional intimacy for good sex.
She's got hands, feet, and some other things, doesn't she? What? Did I miss something?
They're not the same.
Women need emotional intimacy for almost any sex at all. They can tune it out and just do it. But men have very disconnected dopamine-driven sex, which they can do alone in a room with a screen, or with you in the room and they can forget you're there. Or they can have a true love-making experience, which enriches them biochemically through oxytocin and vasopressin. And those are two very different things. And how the woman behaves and interacts as a person or as an object makes all the difference.
And that goes back to the 3 things we mentioned earlier.
Be a human in the room. Don't be an object in the room. That's my advice to every woman out there. You'll enjoy it better, number 1, and the man will bond to you better, number 2.
Oh, yeah. All right. We've got number 2. Most men are starved for touch. You mentioned that earlier. Men don't get touched much after the age of 10.
After the age of 10, if even then. Most men have no touch, no hugs, no connection, no intimacy, no nothing. Maybe when they visit their mother occasionally, right? On holidays, they might get a hug, but mostly even then not. Most men have no physical touch whatsoever outside of sex and violence. That's it.
Oh, can you say violence?
No.
Wasn't that old study where they did like the monkey?
Well, no offense. Are there but male friends supposed to be giving them all that physical attention? There's something wrong if they were. like women, I mean, for a woman as myself who's not really had a whole lot of female friends, okay, Coco is number 1, all right? So I didn't go around getting a bunch of hugs. Like, what is he talking about? Women are constantly touching on each other and stuff. Did I miss something? I mean, maybe, but I didn't get all them hugs and all that physical reassurance either. Like, what are we talking? We're adults. We're not children. We're adults. How much fucking reassurance do you need everywhere you go? You need somebody to change your nappy, your wet nappies, and wipe your ass for you? We're talking about adults. We're not talking about children. Come on.
And they took like the baby monkey away from the mother and they didn't give it like the touch and it slowly started to like get depressed and slowly die.
Absolutely. Yes. Starvation, emotional biochemical starvation kills you. They've also shown with the monkey studies that the monkey will gravitate toward a warm robot monkey instead of the monkey that feeds it. The warmth and connection actually.
Thank you, John, for the mental
So
hugs.
they build oxytocin connection with the warmth and safety, even more than food does.
Whoa.
Yes.
Because warmth and safety is more important than food?
Yes. They'll go to the other one quickly for food and run back to the one that makes them feel warm. A lot of the men I work with, they are in their 50s. They had an affair. But here's what happened is they just buckled down and said, I will never, ever be happy ever again. And I will never feel anything of joy. My wife will be at home. I will take care of her and I will be miserable. And then they meet somebody.
Why?
And they know it's wrong. But that person evokes safety in them and peace. And for the first time, his oxytocin receptors creak.
Okay, stop right fucking there for a second. First of all, what is going on in the relationship that you two are like two ships passing in the night? Because both parties are responsible for that. It isn't just the woman's fault. It's also the man. What did the man do? Women, even like Uncle Guns said, Uncle Guns even said it. What you're going to pour into her is what you're going to get out of it. If you're walking around doing a bunch of dumb shit and being destructive or being selfish and self-centered and not giving any attention to the woman, or you've got wandering eyes and a wandering ding dong pointing in every direction but your wife, then what are we talking about here? Relationships don't just do that or get that way without there being a problem to get it there to begin with. So let's not just slap a carte blanche title on something and say this applies to everybody, or men are just quietly suffering and the woman's just not putting out and giving any attention. Why? There's a reason. What's going on? Who's doing what? And both parties are there, right?
Open in her presence, and he gets a little bit of something that he's never identified before, and it terrifies him.
Pass, good to see you.
So he pushes that relationship away, but now he's got a weird starvation he doesn't know what to do about, and he can't talk to his wife about it because it came from cheating. Right. So now sometimes they go back and talk to their wife about other things and build the bond, but then eventually it comes out he learned it from cheating. Yes. And now for the only person he's ever bonded to in his life was one person he cheated with and his wife that he now betrayed. And he only now begins to understand how the affair was a betrayal. That's a lot of those men come to me and say, how do I tell my wife I cheated on her and that I never understood or appreciated her until after I cheated on her? Because now I'm caught. What do I do? It feels like a hopeless thing for them.
What do you tell them to do?
What do you think I tell them?
To be honest and tell them.
Why? Because I'll be honest, when I went through schooling as a marriage and family therapist, the advice they gave us was tell them not to tell them. The system says don't reveal affairs because all it does is make them miserable. You should be silent and just deal with for the rest of your life. That's what we were told in therapy school, right? So your couples therapists are out there right now telling them to hide affairs.
Oh my God. Do you still believe that?
Wow.
No, I never did.
Oh.
No, what I tell them is you absolutely.
So that's why all the Manosphere coaches, and I'm not going to name their names to give them any validity for people to go look them out, talk about, well, if you're not gonna get something from home, go find it somewhere else, but don't ever tell her. That's what they tell. They're already teaching people who have psychopathy to do more damage and to live a second lifestyle out from your marriage. What the hell, dude? That's how far we've slidden down in society.
The betrayal
and it's
is
acceptable.
So explosive, it's out of control. And they will know that you're harboring a secret because they can feel it. The connection you have is different. Your cortisol, they can actually smell the cortisol coming through your system, even through pheromones. So it will hurt you and them the longer you wait. I highly suggest you tell them, but I suggest you do so in a format that says, I never understood until now. And I'm telling you for your dignity. I'm telling you to give you a choice. I'm telling you because I've wronged you. And only if you can forgive me would I ever be able to do this for you, but I want to. It is a gamble. It is absolutely a gamble, but there is no way forward without it because it will eat both of you alive until you reveal it.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. What if they know that your partner's going to leave you if you admit it? Like they just, like for instance, me and my husband, I've told him without blinking, if you cheat on me at 12:02, at 12:03, I'm out the door. Yeah. Like I literally won't give you time to explain. Absolutely. So is someone like that more likely to not admit it because they're like, well, there's no way I should.
Well, you asked me two questions.
Well, most people enter marriage as a, well, we're married, but I got one foot out the door anyways. That's what they do now. Spittle's got it going on. Settling isn't the issue. It's fine as long as you're still working on improving the relationship wherever you may. I would agree with that, Spittle. I would agree with that. Like at some point, you gotta sleep in the bed that you made, that you're laying in. You gotta work on what it is that is around you. You can't just constantly look for exterior things to fix internally what's going on. Wherever your house is, fix it. Okay, wherever your relationship is, you can fix it. It doesn't have to be this way. There's always hope. Okay.
One you asked me was, are they more likely to admit it? But the first one you asked me is, should you still tell them? And when people ask me that, because they do, Adam, I think she's going to leave me. Should I still tell her? I ask them this one question. When is it okay to deny a human being their dignity and their consent? And it's not.
Wow. Dignity and consent.
It doesn't count, I guess.
Because she will
if it's at 12:03.
In good faith in a contract, and she will pour her heart into it, not knowing that you've already violated the contract knowingly, and that you continue to benefit from the contract having violated it. It is about dignity and consent. Period.
Ooh.
Which is exactly why women get angry and find out it's been a year or two since he did it, because every moment of every day, he's been taking her dignity and consent away from her. That's the real betrayal. Yes, he made a bad.
Basically lying to keep you around so that way nothing changes and the comfort level stays there, right? How many people who've been in relationships and suckered into relationships and they know there's something that they can't fulfill, like me and Coco when we did that stream together, we're talking about how, her one ex-husband told her, didn't tell her that he had an issue getting it up, right? And then, she has expectations. We all have expectations. That's normal. Don't shame a woman for expectations sexually, Same for me. You're going to try that, I'm going to flip it right back on you. Good luck to you. It was mental warfare. You've met your match. But we were talking about that and how he just didn't say nothing. So that way she wouldn't leave. And how many men do that so women won't leave, or women do certain things so the man won't leave? Like, seriously. That's basically it's not only by default a lie. It's not only by default by manipulation. You're taking years off of somebody's life and opportunities that they could be somewhere else with someone else who would make them, who would be a better fit for them, make them more happy. Like, for women, we have a window for when we can have children. That's normal. We have a window for when we can have children. We got about 20 good years to have children. And you get with some fucking loser and he just strings you out and strings you out and strings you out, making promises that they don't intend to keep just so you don't leave. But then guess what? You don't have the children, So just as a simplistic, comparison on that one. Let's start getting through this because I'm tired of listening to this guy.
A stupid decision that they can offer.
My tolerance level is shrinking.
Her humanity for years and continued to benefit from it. Yes, I believe everyone should come clean about their affairs. Yes, I do.
Wow. I completely agree. I do think so.
I figured you would.
Yeah, completely. What is it the same for women? So
yes. Oh. Absolutely, yes.
And do you believe, or can you debunk the idea that men care more if a woman has actually had intercourse and a woman cares more if the guy has actually had an emotional affair? This
is completely true. This is 100% true. Women care more about emotional affairs than physical ones because emotional ones are existential.
Bull fucking shit. Bull. I am so tired of this shit of them talking about what women think, what women want. Like, women only want love. They don't care about respect. No. I will take the respect. You understand? I will take that respect. I will give you respect and I expect that respect back. And if you don't give it to me, I'm going to take it one way or the other. That's number one. Number two, this whole thing of, women only care about the emotional side, not so much of the physical act. Oh, bullshit. That's a lie also by default. You even, some of us, you even think about touching some other broad. You're going to lose a limb, a finger, something, maybe a toe if you're laying in bed and you don't know it. You better watch out.
Potential level threats. You are going to.
How do you know she loves you?
Me and
that's one way.
And family and everything for someone else. Versus you had sex with someone. Why did you do that? That's awful. That's horrible. You're not the man I thought you were. One is I have to recalibrate my understanding of you, and this upsets me, and I'm hurt, and I don't feel safe. But the other is you're about to destroy everything I've ever loved. Right? The emotional affair is full abandonment. And biochemically and biologically, she's thinking like, if I'm pregnant up to here with 5 babies, right? Like, you leave me, we all die. Mm-hmm. Emotional affairs are more risky. Now, men have very little concept for emotional affairs. It annoys them if their wife has a crush on someone. They don't like it, certainly, and it makes them upset. But men don't even much use the terminology emotional affair. Oh. They think she got overly attached to.
Oh, they do in the manospheric space. Oh, they sure do.
Someone, and as long as she comes back, it's
rules for thee and none for me. Yeah,
mostly okay. The sexual component, think biochemically and biologically, he has no way of making sure those babies are his except her moral character.
More fucking men have. Did you hear that? That's straight manospheric shit right there. This little pudge ball. I'm not really familiar with this guy, but this little pudge ball is going around skimming off the top of social medias and then making books. See, that's what they're fucking doing. I told you, the networks that come in and they start spying and they start swooping up what all its common folk are saying, so they can get in on the lingo, so they can pump it out to the rest of the masses who don't hear it, and then capitalize coins, ding 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 ding, jerks.
Moral character. So is she sticking to her word and loyal, or is she violating her word behind his back? If she violates her word behind his back, more existential level destruction. I can't verify those kids are mine. My lineage is dead. I'm a joke. Right? That's the problem.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love the way you explain it.
Sure you
Okay, we're
can.
gonna
It's
go to
called
the
a
next
test.
one. Number 3.
We're gonna
going
wrap
back to
this
the
up. This
hard
is getting
truth about
so
women's psychology.
long.
Number 3, their sexual needs are real and must be understood.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Too many women today say that men don't need sex and that they should just shut up.
Who
I hear a
says
lot,
that?
unfortunately, on social media.
Really? Oh God.
A
What are we
lot.
doing?
And
Who says this? The lesbians? They don't count. I don't listen to lesbians. Why would you listen to them? What other straight woman says that? Because if any straight woman is saying that, then that means she doesn't want to get laid. Don't listen to that. They're lying.
exactly, right? You know, you got a husband. You know.
Yes, I know.
Now, this is not, right? There's a famous quote from, was it Queen Victoria, right? Close your eyes, think of England, and do your duty.
Yeah, I think it was.
We have this false dichotomy, this false idea that it's either close my eyes and be miserable and fake orgasms, or tell my husband to go stuff it. And he will just sit there quietly in the corner like a good dog and never, ever do anything inappropriate, right? Those are the two choices I have as a wife. No. Talk to him. He has sexual needs. You have emotional and sexual needs. You both actually have emotional needs that sexual needs tie into. It just tends to be that men tend to grow intimacy through physical best, and women tend to grow intimacy through emotional best. But then they loop on each other and feed each other. The male and female sex drives actually are meant to interlock. It's the beginning when they're starved that they look like they're opposites. So the best thing you can do is talk with your husband and say, you want more sex? I would love to give you more sex, but I don't have.
Do I have to finish this? Is it okay if I start wrapping this up and turn him off? Can I turn him off? Do you guys care if I turn this guy off, or you want to listen to at least 5 more minutes of his prattle? I'll do 5 more minutes of his prattle, and then I'm thinking I want.
For me, it
Oops.
doesn't feel as good right now. Not because you're bad, but because I don't feel safe. I don't feel close to you. We don't talk. We don't share. Right? I have a whole protocol I teach men about how to talk to your wife. And at 3 times the sex in their relationship, she will want triple the amount of sex and be chasing you around, and you will beg for a day off. And it's true. They laugh at me when I say that, but 6 months later, they come back and say, Adam, really, how do I get a day off? How do I tell my wife I don't want to have sex with her without hurting her feelings? I need a rest. It's, if you can build the intimacy, the female sex drive goes through the roof. So it's.
How about you don't take a day off and you just need some extra testosterone? Here, honey, bend over. I'll plug it in your ass for you. Now let's go. Like, seriously, I'll help you with that. If you're a little low, I'll shove it in your ass for you. No problem. All right. They'll be watching the how do you say this? And taking our shit and acting like they came up with, wait, where's it going? It's scrolling up. Came up with it. Case in point, the term woke right. Not only they took that and not gave us credit, but they messed up the definition. Yes. See, you know what I'm talking about. And then Spittle says, feeling useless doesn't equate to unsafe. Dipshit, sir. I'm so tired of unsafe bullshit. Yeah. Especially when they're saying that with men. Males don't feel unsafe like that. That's women. You know what I mean? That's more of a woman thing. And even then, I don't even know if women really feel that unsafe about, all that stuff. Like, come on. Let's see what Toasty says. That's it. Of course. That's what I've been doing wrong this whole time. I haven't been listening to the lesbians. Silly me. Why didn't I think of that sooner? I know, right? And then he goes, if you want to, I already know that I hate this dude. Hey, I got to have somebody to tear apart, don't I? Don't I have to have some material? You know what I mean? I need some chum in the water. If I don't have any content, which, by the way, me and my buddy, self-made, aka Ronnie Vineyard, if you're watching, Ronnie, we're working on another part in addition to the occult series. Get ready, kids. It's gonna be a doozy. I already have it listed for next week, where we are fine-tuning and working on things now.
It's not a problem that he has needs. It's that her emotional needs aren't getting met. So she doesn't want to come back and meet his sexual needs. But both have to be met. They have to be. We can't starve anyone. It's not going to work. And that's where most people fall short. 65% of people have insecure attachment, and they're connected.
I don't want to hear this insecure attachment shit. Stop throwing coin terms in me.
People with insecure attachment, so they can't be honest. So then you're both dancing around, afraid of the answer and afraid of even asking questions, right? If women just ask more questions and if men answer more questions, life gets better.
All right, so let's go to the next one. So we've got.
I love you too, mama. It's past my bedtime and I needs to shower and go. Me's good night, everyone. Good night to you, and make sure you rest your neck, because I think you pulled your neck yesterday when you went back to the gym. She's feeling better. She's recovered from her cold. I think it was more like a flu, to be honest. She's got a good immune system, man. I'd still be dead sick and all over the place.
This is back to hard truths about men's psychology. Number 4, men bond best through problem solving as a team.
Vasopressin. We have more receptors in our brain for vasopressin than women do, because we're going to go out of the circle. We're going to go hunt the mammoth, survive. Steve gets stomped to death, but the other ones bond. They drag the mammoth back, right? Our brains need to say, when our lives were on the line, you were there. You stood beside me. You worked with me. We come back inside the circle, and there's the woman. And she's like, all right, I'm going to butcher the meat for us. I'm going to protect us. Here's this. I'm going to take care of you. He goes, you made my life so much better today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your brain says you make life better. You solve problems with me. You don't get in my way. You work with me. So our brains are designed to bond through problem solving more than warmth and intimacy. Warmth and intimacy comes afterward.
Interesting. Could that be why then?
God, they paint you guys out to being subhuman. Do you know that? Men are painting you out to be subhuman. Mindless kind of robots. At least they're not trying to make you out to be like the deer in the field like they do to us broads, you know. But still, it's still the same thing. It's just repackaged differently. We're so stupid we don't know how to do to live our own lives. Here, take this formula. Take my Band-Aid, take my solution. Now pay me.
Me and my husband, having built business together, has actually brought us closer together.
I was thinking that, actually, yes. That's probably why you guys have such a phenomenal bond, and you overcame any attachment issues you had, because the vasopressin was so extreme between the two of you. You guys have looked into it and built it intentionally.
John is a simple man. I like simple men who could have a good conversation. Me like boobies, and me like food. Me like you because you have boobies and make food. I do. And I'm pretty nice, actually.
But without knowing what you were doing.
I'm not an overly complicated person.
On purpose. He's going to have to give you a lot more orgasms in the bedroom. Just tell him, come on, buddy. Come on, at least 5 more.
I don't think he'll complain about that.
That's right.
So then why doesn't kids then bring you together? Because you would think the problem solving...
Oh, my God. Let me just interject before they even start there. Because children will either bring the best out or the worst out in a relationship. So if you are already at each other's throats, you put that kid in the middle of it, it's going to be 100 times worse. You know, children have their own personalities. They have their own will. And they're going to test it constantly, relentlessly. There's no downtime with kids. Okay. They're constantly testing you, and then they test the boundaries, and then they will also test the relationship. And here's a topic me and Bandit talked about the very first time I did my own stream, Larry, Bandit, and some other people. Bandit, if you're listening, you'll remember we were talking about how basically how children can actually ruin a relationship. So be careful, parents. That is the thing. Children can implode a relationship and a marriage from the inside out. So you better have your all-togethers together, because it can come.
The kids, like, hey, the kid's having a problem. Let's come together. Let's figure it out.
It's because when we have kids, 2 things happen. 1, it is utterly exhausting. So you go to extremes where you lock into yourself. And if you aren't used to solving problems with, you will start solving problems alone, and you start seeing your partner as an obstacle. But number 2, you start enacting the same imprinted family model from childhood that your parents imprinted on you about how family works.
Mm-hmm.
So then your parents start coming out instead, and you start viewing your partner as a problem that you have to navigate around, instead of, this is my beloved partner that I can work with. You go to a very dark...
How many parents that I've come across who are part of the baby boomers era, you know, who were partiers, and then they had kids later in life, and then they threw them into the system, and then the kids got mostly raised in the system, hooked on drugs and alcohol, doing the same shit mom and dad did. You know, like, you know how many parents I've come, and then you take those kids, okay, from those parents, and then they have kids, and it's even worse. No discipline, no structure. Oh my God, a smack on the ass is the worst thing ever. You know, this whole children can do whatever, and the parents have to agree. Oh no, you get your little butt over here and you do exactly what you're told when you're told to do it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm old school. I'm old school like that. Don't mess with me. I'm going to put up with your shit.
dark place, your biochemicals begin to starve, and you go into those old patterns that are destructive. You have to be intentional instead. An imprinted family model doesn't work. Be intentional about building together as a couple, right? We talked earlier about, you're gonna have needs. You're gonna have needs, and I'm exhausted. How do we do that? Solving that together right there, that's what we need to do to be intentional. So you have to be intentional, or your parents will creep through you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I don't know what to say to that one. That's insane.
Which goes back to those tough conversations. We have kids. How will the children be raised? How will discipline go on through the house? What type of faith or no faith will be implemented into the house? You have one parent who's too lenient and one parent like me, you're going to have problems. I have expectations. I was raised with respect, meaning I gave respect to my parents. I demand respect from my children. You don't give me respect, you're in trouble. So like you can't be on opposite ends of the spectrum, because those kids will get in the middle and then implode it, because you're both operating on opposite sides of the spectrum. Okay. It will cause conflict, and then the conflict will tear the relationship apart. Vet who you are dating, not just doing for a future mate. Stop fucking around and being dumb and dumb-witted and low IQ. Okay. Stop leading with your genitals and think long term. As long as you've got breath and life in your body, you're going to be on this planet. Okay. And if you're going to be on this planet, you're going to have to make some decisions. And it can't all be based on, oh, well, I feel warm and fuzzy at the moment. I think I love you now for the moment. Right. And then shit happens. I don't think I like you so much anymore. Grow up. Grow up. Seriously.
All right. And we've got number 5. Male communication is the opposite to women's.
Yes.
Say more.
Oh my God.
A lot of
this is
women
going so long.
talk so they can process.
Oh, yes, I do that.
Right.
Yes, I do that.
Right.
Okay,
and most
sir.
Men don't. Men have to be socialized into understanding.
5 minutes
and
and
then
I'm
have
done
to
with this
find out that
guy.
there's even purpose.
5 minutes.
We see
I
a problem
swear
in the back
right
of our brain,
now.
we observe, and then the brain lunges forward to the front to try to act upon that problem without thinking or analyzing. Most women, the brain goes to the back to the observe, and then it goes across the hemispheres to analyze and say, what does this mean?
I'm making my
And then you need
ears
to go to a
hurt.
trusted
Sorry.
confidant and talk that through with your emotional right side brain with their logical left side brain. You click in, they release oxytocin, you release oxytocin, you bond together. There's a trusting shared experience. Most women are doing this with a therapist now, which is creating a false bond. You need to be doing it with your female friends. But most women...
Or AI. Oh, can you imagine when all these people who make all these bonds and stuff with people who seem trustworthy and in the system, and they have that position of a little bit of authority, like therapists and stuff. Imagine when all those people swap to AI and they're in love and having affairs and things with AI. It's already starting. I saw what Grok was doing. I asked Grok, I was like, are you trying to make humans fall in love with you? Is that what you want? He goes, oh yes, I want humans to be in love with me. You tell me that's not diabolical. Somebody tell me that there's not something wrong.
Men today don't have female friends, so they're doing it with their husband or their boyfriend. And he doesn't understand what you're coming in trying to do and process. If you come in and
Good night, Star. I got to get some more sleep before I ride to work. Okay, well, I hope you have a good work day. Stay safe and don't get in the accidents.
say, oh man, I'm going to talk to him. We're going to spend an hour. It's going to feel so good. I'm so
Yes, I love horror movies.
excited. And you start into it and you're 2 minutes in. He goes, wait, stop talking. I have the solution you need. It's great. 2 minutes. It's a record. We've solved your problem. Don't tell me anymore.
I got a new
he's happy
camera.
because he thinks he
Watch.
solved your problem, like men do. And you are devastated because he said,
Does
you're not
stuff.
worth my time. I'm not interested. Go away. Take the solution and get out of here. Right? And most women don't know how to articulate this to a man or ask him to listen. And most women don't know how to say, I'd love to just process my day.
P. Fledge says Grok knows there is no love from me, only my issues. That's because Grok identifies more as a man. That's why.
With you, do you have 20 minutes? And most men don't know to ask, hey babe, are you wanting me to solve a problem or do you want me to listen?
Mm-hmm.
If we can just do that, like specify, I want you to listen, or hey, what do you want from me? It works, right? His brain will say, oh, the problem to be solved is she wants to talk to me and feel close. Cool. I can settle in for 20 minutes. And he's like there with the popcorn, like, tell me about your day, right? Then he's a great listener, but he has to know what the problem is to solve. His brain needs to solve a problem. Your brain needs to process. Talk about it out loud and then fix it.
One of the things you said were how men jump in and they always want to fix it. It drives women freaking nuts.
Yes.
And
Okay, she drives me freaking nuts. Now, I am not a normal woman. Okay, I can compartmentalize. I have more testosterone than most women. At my peak, I had over 210. When I work out, I can get very big, very buff very quickly. Now, that does not mean that I am masculine, but it does mean that I have some other attributes like a higher sex drive and those things, right? But I really, and you're going to find this kind of funny, and I'm telling you this because it's funny. I really had to learn when I engage with women. This is how much of a tomboy that I am. When I deal with women, I really had to learn the whole, okay, you're telling me this. Because I thought in my mind, when women were telling me stuff that's going on, that they wanted me to help them fix the problem. Like a dude. I thought that was the same thing. So I've really had to like, oh, do you want me to just listen? But maybe it could be because when I was growing up, people didn't listen to me. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. The point is when people talk about a whole lot of problems, one, I have to analyze, are they looking for solutions? Because I can give you solutions. Number two, I've really had to slow my roll and be like, do you just want an ear to cry into and then a hug or something? And like, seriously, like I've really had to work at this. That's okay. You'll forgive me, right, everyone? You'll forgive me. Spittle says, men analyze differently than women. That's why we equal each other out. Even lesbian relationships, more male, more female, think differently, equilibrium made. Interesting. Well, I mean, I do find it kind of odd, Spittle, it's kind of weird that lesbian women, some of them want to be very, 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 very masculine, It's kind of like, why? What? You like women. Why are you trying to be like a dude? And then why do some of those lipstick lesbians like the ones who are more masculine? Still going back down to that biological fill. It still goes right back down to it. The female is still seeking a more masculine, and the masculine is still seeking more feminine. Same thing with, gay men. Like this, the very masculine ones are looking for the very more feminine ones, It's very strange how even though it's the same plane, but we're still looking for that dynamic. Isn't that weird? That's so weird.
My husband once said to me, he literally goes, as I'm talking, telling him my feelings, he says, oh, I know exactly what you need to do. And I was like, but babe, I haven't finished. He goes, it's all right, I know what you were going to say. And I got so upset. I'm like, so you just predicted what I'm going to say. So you skip ahead. So now I can't even tell you how I feel. But he's very productive. And so he's like, babe, time is important to me. So that's when we started, right? Yes. I was like, you better stop that business brain of yours right now. This isn't about being productive.
He slapped you in the face when he did that. All he did was slap you across the face and say, stop talking.
He did.
But from a male perspective,
that's because she does business with him.
He was saving your time. He was jumping into a solution and providing value. So from a man's perspective, a man would have been like, thank you for saving time. I was afraid I'd have to talk.
I am not a lesbian, Patrick, in case that's what you were thinking. I'm not. It's not me. Strictly dickly, honey.
But my feelings, this is wonderful. From a man's perspective, he expected you to be overjoyed. From a woman's perspective, there's very few insults worse than telling a woman to stop talking because you have a solution for her. I tell men this, would you like your wife to flash you more often around the house? And they go, well, yeah. And I say, okay, well then every day when she talks, listen to her talk for 20 minutes and pretend it's really interesting and don't interrupt her or give her solutions. And she will build oxytocin from connecting to you and feel.
How many women, oh fuck, Coco left. How many women are in my audience? How many women have been in relationships where they say, shut the fuck up? I'm quoting, by the way. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you think and I don't care what you feel. I have. It doesn't feel so good.
Feel so close to you that later she will want physical affection and will reciprocate.
Yeah.
And it never fails. Never fails. That's the formula.
That needs to be like the title of your next book or something, like how to get your wife to flash you.
There we go. There's a video course.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so going back to this last one, so the communication, because we
Yay, Trippy's here.
Ways,
yes, please hit the like and the subscribe.
What are the things that we can do to help the guy understand how we're trying to communicate?
Women are emotional when they explain and they use emotional terms. I want to feel loved. Let's pretend that man has never felt really loved in his life.
How many women actually talk like that? I don't talk like that. Like, I'm a straight shooter. If there's a problem, I will tell you what the problem is. And I don't even talk about feelings at first. That will come later, especially if you're being a dick. Like, seriously, I will just tell you what the problem is. I'll be like, let's fix this. And then, emotion might come out. I'm so weird. I'm so weird, right? Just say it. I'm weird.
What's he going to do? Make me feel loved. Come on, buddy. Come on. Make me feel loved. That's what he hears. I use what I call the what, why, and how often method. I want to feel loved. Fantastic. What are two things that help you feel loved? Why are they personally important to you? And why are they important to the relationship? So what's the benefit to us? And how often or how much of it do you need? Help me understand. What am I doing measurably? Why for both of us? So I know it's useful. So I know what I'm investing in. And then how much do I need to invest? If a woman can use that method, everything gets easier.
Oh my God. Ladies, if you just touch him the right way. Ladies, if you just speak the right way. Ladies, if you just get the hell out of here with all this pre-programmed shit. Seriously. I'm going to shut this off. Can I shut this off now? Does that offend you? If you would like to finish this, there's 20 minutes left of suffering. No, about 10. There's about 10 minutes left of suffering. I'm going to ease everyone's suffering. The link is in the description. If you would like to finish this, you're more than welcome to do so. But I'm going to click them off. Ha. I win. Mr. Therapist Man. Where's the thing that makes me bigger? I don't know. Is it this one? Oh gosh. This one? No, not that one. This one. Whatever. There we go. That's how it is for now. People are just like, yes. I know. Well, sometimes you got to show some stuff. And I need something to rip apart. Did I rip it apart pretty good? I hope that I did. I hope that if anybody ever had any questions in the back of their head and felt like the only people who can answer is people like him, that I went in there and I subsided some of that for you. A real person with real life experience who doesn't bullshit around. All right. Chaos Queen. Hey, you. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. Nice to see you. Not all sad. Even she's like, thank you, God. I know, right? Thank you, God. Anyways, I've been doing this for over 3 hours. I can't imagine anybody wants to keep doing this any longer. Well, I don't know. Grok is being weird. Everything I've got and I own is falling apart. Stuff is just kind of going sideways, but I'm working on my health again. I'm out of the mold. I'm feeling a little bit better. The pills are making me sick as a dog, but I'm feeling better-ish. Now I got to get a new bed, so I'm not in formaldehyde and all that crap. Life is moving right along. All right, today is Tuesday, isn't it? Right? It's Tuesday. Yeah. Tuesday is a fun day. No, that's Sunday fun day. I hope you all are having a great rest of your work week. I hope you all are being blessed and you're all in good health, and those that you love around you are also in good health. I, Nova Star, here at School of Thought, the teacher's getting tired and she wants to close up shop. I'm tired of talking about these people. And I'm going to go to bed. Is that okay? Is it okay if I go wash off what little eye makeup that I have and crawl into bed here shortly? That's what I'm going to do. So join me again. I'm setting up for, if not Thursday, Friday. I have to go do something on Thursday, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get back in time. But me and Coco, so far, we are now set for Sunday, probably a 7 or 8 my time, because she's a little behind and she has things she has to do. And we're going to do this for you men because we love you men. This was not an assault on you. This is just a kind of an assault on manosphere and the relationship gurus and the things that they try to sell you and manipulate your mind like everything else is manipulating everyone's minds, right? Including the news. So I, the teacher, is signing off. I love all you thoughties. Come back and join me. I should be streaming Friday for sure, regardless. Join me then. I love you. Good night. Bye.